honestly, I did not hear culture until now, and I
don't hear him still.
around.
Really?
I did hear from.
Hey, we're live.
So
We're living.
So should I just leave?
Why?
No.
Okay. Well, somebody can't hear me. Is it just Brahma?
I think it's just Brahma, or Brahma's trolling you.
No, I cannot hear him at all. I'll reload.
Okay.
It happens with little Chad on my show all the time.
Got it.
Brahma has to
Easy
reload all the
V-Bucks
time.
too.
Reload.
So he's doing his best impersonation of Metallica, blowed and reblowed.
Reload. Hey, did you see that Joker 2 looks like it's going to suck ass at the box office?
No, I didn't.
I heard about that.
Oh my God, the cock.
There you go.
I
What
hate
are
the
the odds
culture.
you think it might
Sorry.
get some walk-up business?
Sorry,
What do we
like Disney, I wanted to use the words suck ass right at the beginning of the show.
I thought it was eat my ass.
Oh, same thing. Well, I guess technically not. I would have to ask Roland or Tox about that.
About
Oh,
eating
nice.
ass?
Son,
Hold
if you have
on,
a
hold
straw.
on.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Oh, I got a new sound effects I loaded up.
Oh,
You ready?
Oh,
No.
God, what is it?
Game plays.
Ah! I love it. Turn it up just a little more. It's almost ASMR.
That's the point. It's supposed to be uncomfortable.
Oh, well, that's what she said.
Hey, happy birthday, Nick.
Oh,
yeah.
Holy shit, happy birthday, Nick.
Yeah.
It was yesterday, right?
Yes, it was.
Dude,
I
you suck.
get a lot more hush hush this year.
Yeah. Jerk. You know, it's Coach's birthday too, right? From Echo Base.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he
cool.
He had a little birthday stream.
Or Randall.
So I guess the question is, did you go and chug hot sauce or something? As a
Me?
Yeah, you.
yeah, you.
No. I did, however, went to a really nice barbecue place with my girlfriend. I got a barbecue bacon burger and peanut butter in it, and it was legendary.
Nice.
Dude,
Hey, JB.
it was so freaking good. Like, I swear, I thought I was gonna retire from eating. I'm not joking. If that was my last meal and I died right after, that would have been an excellent way to go. My girlfriend did give me a pizza cake. I posted it on Twix last night. And the cake turned out great. It's a pizza design. It's really killer.
Nice.
And one of my youngest, she made me a card that has my 32 logo, and my oldest, she made me a card that has Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles on it. Because a lot of people associate with me with Michelangelo, so yeah, they nailed it. I got a bunch of really cool gifts from the family.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good. So
Hey,
now I'm
Basco.
gonna be with the dudes.
It's inebriated Plutarcha. I don't know.
Inebriated Plutarch?
Oh, got it. Okay. It's dough fat. Oh no, dough buffet. Sorry.
I just love this beefy 5 liter. This was Bando. That's great. Absolutely great. Dog is a weirdo.
We'd like you to have this flower. Excuse me, sir, would you... Donation to the Reverend Moon? Jesus. Read about Jehovah's
Yeah, you
Witnesses.
can read that one.
Actually, no, I was looking away. What do you
I start it for you.
Okay.
Basco scenario. He's funny. You get a freak off 3 nights a week, baby. Penis.
Just like Diddy.
Entertainment that always rises to the occasion.
One thing we don't do on Thursday Night Throwdown is screw around.
That game
Oh my God.
By the way, have you guys seen Toxic Man?
That joke
naked in
has
the
new
shower?
meaning now.
It's like really disgusting. Like somebody vomited in a blender and like set it to extra chunky. It's really gross. Like every time I see him, I want to shave my eyeballs with a razor. We are literally the same height.
That game plays.
We got your back, Comics.
You okay back there, Nick?
Bravo Bolt to TNT command. Target is locked. That's a confirmed hit. Target is down.
I mean, I thought everyone was with me. Oh,
that's bull.
yep, there we go.
You, Rogan, get away from my turtles.
I don't have any hands and feet in comics. I can't fly a plane.
You
I thought it was going to be like Toxic Ivan.
cannot
too.
read a super chat.
No, I wasn't going to do all of them.
Thursday night Throwdown.
It's a true statement. He can't
Well,
read a
did you
super
see
chat.
Brahma's? Brahma was Lieutenant Dan Utah Smith Jr. So, just with pure white.
I don't even know what that means, but okay. Hi, welcome to Thursday.
God, you don't know.
Almost
comedy.
through the week. Okay, whatever talks. Yeah, it's Thursday. It's almost Friday, which means the weekend is almost upon us, and the weekend is fantastic. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, before we get into it, Rolling the Wretched Man. Welcome back, sir. Coming in hot with $50.
Wow,
Captain,
Fitty.
So this is to make up for missing Monday and for Tuesday's movie night because I told PayPal 30 and they decided to drop the zero. I'm wondering what Ian has done to PayPal recently that they would do him dirty like that. Anyway, no harm done.
He humped him into submission. That's what
I
happened.
guess.
All I know is that Roland was a blessed addition to the panel for dodgeball on Tuesday.
Yeah. Hopefully you're feeling better, Roland. I know you're under the weather, sir.
Yeah. We're going to send you better weather.
Yes, indeed. Also, for another $50, Roll the Wretched.
Yeah, Fitty.
I want to promote movie night. It is the only place where you can compare Nick to White Goodman, and where Tox whacks off to me during the movie. When my wife found out Tox was whacking to me, she said, "At least someone is." I know how to pick them. That is
glorious.
That is absolutely glorious. Here's the rest of the panel.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm dying.
That's great.
Oh my gosh.
Hey.
Oh man, that deserves something special.
It does. Gary Blue.
No,
I wouldn't play that. Yeah, I would.
Of course.
You know what? We should play. Here we go. We'll play this for Roland.
Why does it never get?
No, I said I wouldn't do. I wouldn't make fun of him for that. No, I can't. Okay, I can't make fun of him for that either. I said we'd be nice because it was $100.
All right, how about we just do this?
There we go.
Okay,
that makes.
I feel
There's so many people leaving the chat.
This is very wrong.
That's kind of random. I thought I was supposed to say something, but apparently it doesn't.
I don't know.
All right, we'll play this for him.
Oh yeah, that's good.
There we go. There we go.
I can only when Roland is around can I.
I want the truth.
I can't handle the penis.
Mad Mardigan is here saying, I made 6 minutes into the show and have never said fuck off so many times.
And Mad likes
It is
that
unbearably
thing.
stupid. Yeah.
Which one though? There's two.
There's I'm assuming Agatha. Yeah. All right. TVG Monster for $2 says hi, comics, and everyone on the panel. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you as well.
Happy Thursday to you. Happy Thursday to. That's not the same.
No, it's not. TVG Monster also gifted membership. Thank you. Very kind of you. Do appreciate it. And also Magnum Norse for $10 says can't drop 50 tonight, but apparently neither can Diddy.
Oh
no!
By the way, hashtag 50 Cent was right, and he got they gave him a lot of flack for that many moons back. They ignored him.
What did 50 Cent say?
50 Cent said many moons back that Diddy is up to some weird stuff, and he got this was like pre-cancel culture. Like 50 Cent was way ahead of the game with this stuff. And so he wasn't saying it just for posture. He just said, hey, you might want to keep your eye on this guy. He's got some weird stuff going on. So he's vindicated. It took, over a decade, but hey, man was right.
I saw something on Twitter. Apparently how far are we in? Okay, we're over 10 minutes. Apparently they found like 700 dildos at his place that were confiscated.
It was faked.
Was that fake? Okay.
Yeah, it says what they confiscated in the
okay.
So legal
court paperwork.
Legal Mindset went through the court papers.
Yeah.
And they found the bottles of Johnson baby oil.
Yeah.
They found 1,000 gallons of that.
Wow.
That's perfectly reasonable.
Remember, Diddy did not off himself.
That's right.
It's only inevitable.
That's one of the things that people are talking about is that he might.
It was a trap house.
Get Epsteined. Yeah.
Yeah. Look. All I know is that that's not a whole lot of dildos.
Mr. E wants to know if those were fake
many
dildos.
more.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Guy Scar, the Basco scenario says those witches didn't come from Diddy's party, or did they? Too soon? No.
Absolutely not.
Nope. That was funny. That was absolutely funny. Also, WG for $20. Who's the smartest one here tonight? The Voyager probe as it continues speeding away from Earth. 38,000 miles per hour. Yes. This Earth is a silly place.
That is the ultimate fuck this shit I'm out meme.
Yeah, it kind of is.
See that guy. Yeah. Get me out of here. Hey, it's Penny. Hey, Penny.
Only 700?
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. Also, lovely Sherry says, don't use baby oil on silicone dildos.
No, it breaks them down. You don't want to do that. You got to use water soluble.
Personal experience or
Yeah.
Okay. That's almost a gallon per dildo.
That's right.
All right. So before we get to the joy of crapping on, I was going to say the acolyte, Agatha. It's basically the acolyte of the MCU.
Isn't it the same thing?
It's that meme of are these things different? They're literally the same thing.
Well, this one was in purple.
I guess. I saw this floating around on Twitter, and this is actually something that is really fucking cool that I want to share with you guys.
Mark's right. Toxic knows. I know
penises?
Yes, penises. All right. So this dude
don't use silicone oil.
Built a real life Iron Man suit. This is pretty fucking bad. Isn't that insane?
Holy crap.
Wow.
That is fucking cool as shit, dude.
It's amazing.
It's basically $5 million worth of tech at minimum.
I guess. I don't know.
No, seriously.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, look.
Man is about to get got by the sea.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I am Hydrogen Man.
Yeah.
That's right, Mr. E.
That's fucking cool, man. That is really fucking cool.
And you know what? In our chat, Punk Waddle's thanking lovely Sherry for all of those sex lube tips. Thank you very much. Our chat cares.
Yeah, we do.
We share.
We do. Although I guess Hydroglide is the best or something. Oh no, it's
Astroglide.
Yeah,
Astroglide. Yeah.
Toxwood.
I don't know what Mr. E said, but I'll do it myself. Okay.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, just that is probably one of the coolest things I've seen all year. Somebody actually building a real man Iron Man suit and having a handcrafted hydrogen reactor. That's fucking crazy. That's really fucking crazy.
A plate carrier without plates.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brahma, I stepped on.
No, I was just saying that part is crazy.
Okay, so the next question is exactly how bulletproof is it?
I mean, that's a good question.
Carbon fiber and then metal plating on it, and then I mean, if you put some of that, what is it? What's that the new weave material there that hardens when it gets hit? It's made out of what are?
Oh fuck! Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Weave.
Yes, there you go. No, but yeah, there's like a new weave material that's made out of nanofibers, made of what? What's the shit that crazy fuck on Tim Pool's show talks about all the time?
Oh, graphene.
Graphene. Yeah, so it's like made of multiple layers of graphene weave stuff, and when it gets struck, it goes rigid. So it literally just goes, yeah, bullet, nah, not today.
I know that technology has been around for a while, and I mean, I'm trying to remember where I heard about it, but I swear it was like decades ago.
Yeah, no, it has been around a long time, but it's cool. So like literally you can layer up in something like that and all of a sudden like you literally could be Tony Stark. I mean, yeah, it's really cool.
Brahma, you're saying something. I didn't mean to cut you
sorry,
off.
Brahma.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Wait, you're not as old as me. You're supposed to remember.
He doesn't remember if he's supposed to be Chip Roy on screen now or earlier. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I was thinking earlier. I mean, I remember the comment I was going to make before that when you guys were talking about the Astroglide. I figured you guys would be anal ease guys.
Wait. Look, you might not have gotten so injured had you had some of that when you were in the razor situation with the butcher.
I don't know if that would help culture. Just throwing that out
Just
there.
have the blade slide off of it? What?
Yeah. See?
Yeah, gay place. Yeah, gay place.
Mm-hmm.
Nick?
You need a 10 of
You're
Comics
never-
Division's Pecker Shine, because that'll put a nice smooth shine on your pecker and things just bounce right
Nick,
up.
you're never going to be invited now. You are
Yep.
never going to
That
be
means I'm going to be invited.
Speaking
Do
of
not come. Do not come.
speaking of things that are super fucking gay, I don't know why that keeps popping that open. Did you guys see this?
Oh, dude,
I caught wind of it.
That game place is coming out with a video on this in the next day or two.
All right. So one of the things that's kind of funny about it, we'll get through this, and there's another clip that they show of, I guess, like the biggest that the female chest can get, and it's not that big. So yeah, let's check out the latest abomination coming from BioWare, which used to be a great game studio. They brought us such great classics as Dragon Age. And of course, Mass Effect. I'm trying to remember all the fucking games they have, and I'm totally blanking on it. KOTOR, I believe, right? Was it KOTOR that they did?
Maybe.
Couture?
Yeah.
KOTOR. Yeah. So here we are. This is a current year Dragon Age. Have fun.
But he, him, she, her, and they, them, and then your gender is man, woman, non-binary. Love that. Love the inclusivity. Top surgery.
Yeah, stuff that would never happen in a medieval fantasy, by the way. Just throwing that out there. And mastectomy scars. That's awesome. So inclusive.
Yeah. Literally not even just one of the tattoos, but it's actually a do you want to click this one on?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you want
and again,
top
something that would
surgery?
never happen in the medieval time period or fantasy time period like that. But okay, whatever.
Well, not unless it was torture.
Yes. That is true. Torture.
This is so
But they don't tend to zipper them back up after in torture.
That is true. They tend to like let you die.
Yeah.
Just thrown. Yeah.
Scars are also included in this for all of our trans and non-binary rooks out there. I absolutely was blown away by this. It's beautiful to see the inclusion in the game and to see yourself represented.
Wow, you are
But
retarded.
he, him, she.
Yeah.
You suck.
So if you go with the fake vag, do you constantly lose health because you've got to sit there and reopen it every couple hours?
Yeah, that would be a brilliant game mechanic, Brahma. Yeah, that they should definitely include that.
Let's make it realistic.
Let's make it realistic. Okay, so we also have this one here. As you can see, this is a female character with the chest slider turn up all the way. Where's the tits?
Yeah.
100%. No tits.
But you can add a bulge to it.
Yeah.
This is so stupid.
Gut size. That's awesome. You could make yourself fatter.
No, that's glute. As in
glute.
Your
Sorry.
ass.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. I misread that. But it would be funny if they actually did have a gut slider.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, bulge slider to for. Yeah, so inclusive. It's nice to know that women are actually included in this game by making their breasts so fucking tiny. I mean, this would normally be like the close to the smallest in the breast slider. But yeah, this is something I kind of noticed even with Baldur's Gate 3. is that the large size for breast was really not that large. I would consider the largest being more medium than anything else, but okay, whatever. It's kind of funny. Very, very inclusive. BioWare, great job. I'm really looking forward to not playing your game because of how silly it is in current year when it comes to video games.
We've gotten away from the male gaze being the problem to it being the female gaze making the games.
Yes, emphasis on the female gaze.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'd think they would like the tits.
Yeah, you would think so, right? A lot of lesbians out there.
But it's not realistic enough. It's not realistic. Was it? I can't remember what character they're doing for more. Like, where are her organs? Like, remember who was that about? Was it about Captain Marvel? I think, or it was
no. It was in reference
that was about
to
ballerinas.
Well, no, I mean,
the thing that went around yesterday.
No, this is like years ago. Where her organs? It is a reference to like some character design. Because she had a slim waist, and they'll go, "Where are her organs?" And so, anytime somebody fucking points that out, it's fucking hilarious because they'll show a real life skinny woman, and they'll be like, "Where are her organs?" Just like kind of parroting these retarded activists. But yeah,
when women were wearing those corsets and stuff in the Middle Ages and the Renaissance and all that stuff, they pull them so tight and everything, it would move their organs around in their body.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So. I'm literally fine with Power Girl's organs being in her tits.
Yes.
I'm sure you are, probably. I'm sure you are.
As Argentum has pointed out, female but not feminine. Yeah, and that's kind of the issue that we've been seeing throughout media is when it comes to the representation of women, specifically right now in video games, because they can tailor female characters to be more masculine. Is that they view femininity as being a weakness when it's not, and that's the thing that's kind of crazy about this is like literally they are making women into men or trying to, which is ridiculous. And as we all know, there is a duality to humanity, right? Men and women are supposed to complement each other. They don't need to be the same.
Boob lives matter.
Yes.
I'd be willing to bet that on the female model you can make the bulge bigger than you can on the male model.
I
think you might be right.
I would not doubt it for a
I
second.
would not be surprised, but
I think we should start taking bets on how few copies this game will sell.
It's not like you're gonna say few cocks this will sell.
Well, I mean it's not Cyberpunk. You can't go out and get the what
somebody put in the chat that
Mr. Stud
Cyberpunk they're doing another season.
So if this game comes out, this is gonna be another of those games where they're like, "Oh, it's not actually finished, and here's the other updated version for the 5th time," and then you have to spend more money to unlock a bunch of things. That's insane. Like on top, it's already bad enough that gaming and gamers already have to deal with the problems of the social political stuff, but then you add in that too. It's a whole other can of worms. It seems like the industry is really going through a lot of crazy shite.
Yeah, it really is. Have you heard anything about the pre-sales numbers for Dragon Age, whatever the fuck it's called?
Oh, they're incredibly low. Oh my god!
Like how low?
They're fucked low. I mean, like you can't even imagine how low they are. There are like multiple game store locations and even a few big box retailers that are like, yeah, we've not really sold more than one per store.
We've sold 8 pre-orders.
Yeah, it's
across all GameStops.
Yeah, it's really wild. I'm not kidding. He's not kidding.
It's not far off from that.
Yeah,
really? Wow.
Yeah, like whole states are like, we've sold 8. Yeah, no, this thing's hot garbage, dude. We've been reporting on all the this is only one pile of shit that's coming out of this game. The UI is complete garbage. It's a different combat system. They're trying to be a shooter rather than be what Dragon Age is supposed to be. You now have non-binary and weird companions, and you can get down with a whole host of weird companions.
I mean, they literally made, I think, all the characters like pansexual or bisexual or something like that. I remember reading about that.
Guard.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, man. hang on to your old games, folks. You're gonna fucking need them.
Well, I mean,
there's also a lot of them too. So
Yeah.
it's so like we said about movies and shows and stories and books. Like there's decades upon decades worth of great stuff to look over. You'll be set for a long time to come. And should you have kids, you can pass that over and share that love. So that is like, to me, that's a win-win. And it seems like there are younger people who are starting to like be disenfranchised by what's going on, where they're starting to seek out options of what came before. So that's a good thing.
Right.
That's a good sign. We gotta show them the way of what once was.
Well, and everything that they has an ebb and a flow to it, right? So there was a point where video game consoles were king. I mean, Atari was printing money. And then all of a sudden, the market was saturated and they were left holding the bag and they went under. Right? So you had all this stuff happening there and other game systems that came and went, and very popular games, and they lost their popularity, and there was all kinds of stuff going on.
Was it 82 when they had the video game crash where, I mean,
82, 84,
E.T. Yeah, E.T. is kind of like the pinnacle of the failure of what happened during that time period.
And then they started coming up with things like Doom and Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein was really a big turning point. There, and then you started to get better graphics. And then by that point, I was already working in computers and doing programming stuff, and I didn't want to look at another computer screen when I got home.
Yeah,
I stopped it from there. But
understand that.
So this could be an ebb. And I saw an ad on X for video game developers, and none of them looked like they knew how to develop. So I think we're going to be in a little ebb for a while.
I think we're going to see consoles start disappearing altogether. I think it's going to go to PC and like Steam Deck.
I feel bad for the PC like gamers, because I know a lot of PC gamers are very like they don't want regular console gamers involved
85. Yeah,
in their field. PC gamers are major gatekeepers, so that's going to open up a whole can of worms.
Well, the funny thing about it, I mean, for years I've been primarily console gaming, and a lot of it, ever since I got my 4020, which honestly I bought that for AI more so than anything else, right? But I've been playing a lot more PC games. Like I even went back, I bought several games that I've already owned on console just to play. And honestly, it's a lot easier to capture game footage on a PC than it is using something else. I know that with Xbox, because it's Windows, you can automatically kind of sync things up and capture, which makes it a lot easier. But I mean, pretty much at this point, I'm kind of just happy using a PC rather than a console, despite the fact
apparently
I have
people are having trouble at this point gifting memberships and donating.
Stitch is having trouble.
So if you do at Rumble, it seems to be working.
Well, there really aren't a lot of followers for the game on Steam. And you have multiple people reporting that the pre-sales are bad for Veilguard. You have a lot of modern audience bologna sausage in there. So yeah, and look, I mean, if you look at the vast majority of people that are reviewing it or just looking at it what it is, it's just a lot of not recommended.
It's definitely not looking good. All right, real quick, we get some super chats. GJJ was gifted a membership and then went and gifted a membership. Thank you very much. That was very awesome of you. Also, Magda Norris for $10. Can't drop 50 tonight, but apparently neither can Diddy. I think I already got that one, didn't I?
Yeah, we did that one.
Yep. All right.
Still
got
funny.
that? Yeah, still very funny. TVG Monster for $5 says, I'm gay, and I will say Disney, Hollywood, and Dragon Age Veilguard, stop insulting me and using me as a shield.
Yes.
Got back to making cool games. Go back to making cool games.
Yeah.
And action movies. Yeah, 100%.
I think that's one of the biggest issues. It's like they forget, like, there are, gay men lesbian women who also have, believable, fully dimensional personalities where they actually like things as they are. Like you remember, God, he hasn't been on here in quite a few years, but Dalton, his favorite Marvel character is Doctor Strange, and obviously Dalton was nothing like Doctor Strange.
No.
Oh yeah, no.
And
yeah,
Dalton's
based AF, man.
That's a lot of them. They like characters as they are. My buddy Josh from Thinking Critical side of things, he's a gay guy as well, and he loves his stories the way we like them. Like we can have the same conversation right now with him, and he's one of us. But instead they act like if you're gay, then you must hate like masculinity. You must hate cool things.
No, I have a friend that will literally kick people's butts if they like try to like pigeonhole him into this campy bullshit that we're going to talk about with the Agatha thing. They're like, I do not act like that. No, you don't. We're in a weird place, kids.
Yeah, we really are. And it's like, and the thing that kind of sucks about it is like with Mass Effect 3, I kind of felt like they handled the gay relationship in that game fine, right? Yeah. It's like it wasn't over the top. It wasn't, pandering. It's like, yeah, sure. You have something in there for people who are gay. Don't have a problem with that. Because at the end of the day, it's like if you're gay and you want to play a gay character, don't have an issue with it. The issue is when they literally make everything that. And that's kind of what we're seeing with Vanguard or Badge Guard or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say that on that game.
Sorry. Yeah. Magda Norris for $10. Did he do it? That crazy fuck on TP show. You mean Temple?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably.
They do with the graphene.
Yeah.
But you know what? You need to mine a lot of coal and pump a lot of oil to make graphene.
Pump it up.
Pump it up.
Magda Norris sounds like a bunch of bundles of sticks for $2.
It does. They burn.
Let's see. Anakbamon, reviews and rants. How you doing? For $5. Why is it that every actor/actress that I've said I like them, I'll see them, I'll see anything they're in about them has felt the need to tell me to go fuck myself.
Because these are not normal people. They're in Hollywood.
Actors.
They live. I know it's cliche, but we say it because it's true. They actually do live in a bubble, and they think that they don't. Like, and once again, take it from me. I've lived over a decade in the city and the burbs each. A little bit of more of both of each. There is a little bit of a bubble in the burbs, but I'm going to tell you right now firsthand, the bubble in the city is far worse. It ain't even close. They
and then
truly
when you make
think
that city Hollywood, it's even worse.
Yes. They think what happens within their vicinity is somehow what dictates the entire world and what represents the entire world. So anytime you hear stuff like that says what reflects the world that we live in today, they really just mean what reflects Los Angeles or New York City.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's the same thing. Same thing that happens with news anchors on all the major networks. They're in their own bubbles and do not know anything about what goes on in the normal world.
Yep.
I mean, look at Matt Damon a few years back when he had to go to like Oklahoma and Texas to, try to figure out how normal people in the Midwest actually do things. And he was like, wow, these people actually are completely different than everything that I'm about. And, it's like they're actually normal and we're not.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
That's the correct answer, Matt Damon.
Morons.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, I kind of get that because, like, part of the issue is it's the reason why I say that celebrities aren't humans, and I don't mean that to be derogatory, right? It's because they are so far removed from the struggles of the average American. They don't know what it's like to be the average American, right? They literally have people to do things for them. They don't go out and do their own shopping. I mean, and if they do, that's pretty fucking based. But that's the thing. When you're surrounded by yes men, people telling you how awesome you are, and you start becoming divorced from reality. And that's ultimately kind of the issue with celebrity is they're so divorced from reality. And
well, look at Ricky
is.
Gervais when he laid out his excellent speech in, I think it was 2020. And he even said, you have no idea what it's like to be one of these people. And Greg,
Right.
I have a lot of issues with some of his positions, but he was
Same
spot
here.
on
Yeah.
with that particular comment. They have no idea what it's like to be like people like us. He absolutely hit a bullseye with that comment. But they act, and that's a part that people never think about when they see like celebrities endorsing, like, let's just say politicians. I'm just like, you're realizing like these people have no connection. Like even outside of you having the same ideology, you have no cultural connection to these people.
Well,
you have none. I relate more so to Shanae and Elgin than I do to Oprah Winfrey in her little palace in Chicago.
Well, let's look at a few examples. And like Taylor Swift grew up by what most people say was a conservative home. And she's a billionaire, and suddenly she's, pro everything on the left and endorsing Kamala. Let's see where Sydney Sweeney goes in the next few years, because she grew up pretty based from what we can tell as well. She's still acting pretty based about just about everything, but she's just getting started in the past few years. We'll see where the money and the fame take her, because
I think a lot of it is
I'm interested to see if she gets completely corrupted by Hollywood.
It's a
everybody
possibility.
else seems to.
Yeah,
it is.
Well, because a lot of it too is that if you don't stay grounded, then that's what happens. And hopefully she, because of her friends and
she seems to have a friend group that is not her Hollywood group. And maybe that'll save her.
That's
working on cars, going out and just hanging out on the lake, that kind of stuff.
It seems like she does have that stability of people who accept her as her, which is good. And I didn't know this. This is a fun one. I had no idea. Apparently, Katy Perry used to be super non.
She's a pastor's daughter and used to sing gospel music.
Yep. I didn't know that until like about a week ago, and I was like, "What?"
And now she's the crazy feminist. That's what it is.
Possibly satanic crazy feminist.
Really? Yeah. The
She does
Vasco
a lot
scenario.
of symbolism.
For 2 Canadian, that's why I'm playing old school games. Yeah, fantastic.
Oh, keep at it.
Well, and the funny thing about it is, as much as I know that culture has been kind of giving this game shit, Space Marines 2 just finished it last night, by the way. Still some additional missions that I can go play that aren't involving Titus, the main character. That is not, I don't think it's multiplayer. But that game's fucking fun. It is very much a throwback game to a bygone era of gaming. And like I said, I understand the complaints about the campaign being too short. I thought it was fine. I think my biggest issue is the price point. I mean, it's a game that should be like $40-$50, but again, current year inflation and all the shit, I can understand why it's more. But it was a fun game. I enjoyed it. It was based as hell. It had a lot of representation in it, which, it felt natural. It didn't feel forced or out of place or anything like that. It was a great game. I enjoyed it. That's all I have to say on it. You'll be seeing footage and videos. So
and Black Myth Wukong. China makes a better game than America does at this point.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. It's unfortunate. The funny thing is that sorry, 70s, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I love the headless musician in Black Myth Wukong. That guy rocks.
Yeah, chapter 2.
Yeah, he rocks. I love
it.
He's
funny.
Yeah, he's the Jimmy Page of the game.
Yeah. Wait. Well, the other thing too is that
Brahma's in the game.
What's that, Tox?
Well, he said the headless magician. I said, is Brahma in the
No,
game?
Musician.
Musician. Sorry.
So one of the things that happened recently is
I did get the joke though, Tox.
Apparently, Asmund Gold had a comment put on his one of his videos talking about Space Marine 2 that was allegedly from the CEO of the company that developed Space Marine 2. And the funny thing about it is that apparently when they went to the company for comment, actually I'll pull up the Kotaku article. Actually, let me get through this, and I'll pull up the Kotaku article talking about this, because his response is fucking hilarious.
Kotaku struggled hard to attack him in that article. They struggled.
They really did.
Like they couldn't quite articulate why it was so awful.
Yeah. Haywood Jablomi for $2.56 Canadian. Evening, gents. Canadian cheer. Alien double bill.
Oh yeah.
I still love
We're
that
gonna
name.
so
Cheers.
on the October 1st, we're gonna be doing a movie night. It's gonna be a double feature. Comics Division, Take My Money, Damn It level, and Culture Casino Gold members. Gold
member.
It's just melting.
Yeah.
We're gonna do Alien and Aliens back to back. Gonna start at 7.
Yeah.
We'll have pee breaks. We'll do all that.
Welcome to Halloween Dixmas.
Indeed.
That's right.
Now I gotta make sure I don't do Alien.
Stitch for
Not
$2.
this year, at least.
I can super chat, but can't give memberships. Arg. I'm sorry to hear that.
That's a brand new problem. YouTube
yeah.
YouTube is trying to unfuck that.
I'm not surprised at this point. Deeple 101 over on the Green Machine side for $5 says, "Hail chat and panel. Sorry, missing Monday. Was too tired. I get that. I really do. Also, just spent $200 on recent Lord of the Rings minis because fuck Games Workshop. Brahma, hockey season is about to start. Any hope for CBJ to not be dead last?
No, Columbus is screwed. They won't be dead last though.
Hey, can I ask a question? Did we have hockey preseason yet?
It's coming.
We're getting ready to get into it in the next couple of weeks.
Training camps have started.
I'm not going to tell you how to bet, but usually in preseason, the over is your friend.
Yes, it is. Because there's no defense happening. Nobody's going to hit because nobody wants to get injured. The only people that are hitting are the ones that are really trying to make the team, and they're typically hitting the other guys on the other team that are trying to make the team. The real players are not touching each other. So, yes, that we are not financial advisors, but that is typically a good bet. And, well, since we brought it up, and there's no reason to bring it up later, if you go to either me or 70s community tabs, you can sign up for the Fantasy Hockey League for bourbon and boarding for the year.
Ooh, Fantasy Hockey. Cool.
Yes. Wonder if I can win it again, Brahma.
Maybe. Never know.
All I know is this. The Blackhawks will go on a 10-year run of winning the Stanley Cup.
I was proud that the Blackhawks did not give Bedard the captaincy. They gave it to Foligno.
He's not ready for it yet.
He's not ready for it. There are 18-year-olds that have been ready for it, Gabriel Landeskog, but not Bedard.
Well,
Landeskog was captain all through his Kitchener Rangers years, though. So
yeah, he has
ready
actual
for it.
leadership.
He was ready for it.
So.
Jonathan Toews was made captain, I think, right when he came out.
Yeah, but we don't talk sports ball over here.
Talking about.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There are people coming out in sports?
Oh, yeah. There's a reason why the Blackhawks.
Most of the Blackhawks, yes.
We all know about that. Yeah,
the Blackhawks are more likely to be the bottom team.
The Blackhawks, the Blackhawks play.
All I hear is their bottoms.
So
are they power bottoms?
Yeah, they play the man-on-man advantage most of the time.
They did.
All right. Toxic Man Flu for $2 says, "Well, this works. Just gifting is down." Yeah,
and your reading skills.
Yes, clearly. Agmar WK for $10. The people with the talent have been ousted and replaced with those who have social studies majors in entertainment. This is why we have been getting the trash we have been getting. Indeed. That's pretty spot on.
100% it right there.
Yeah. And
the creative people have been pushed out.
Knockmamon for $5 says, I bought the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. Better than any AAA games. Yeah.
Oh. Culture, did you get the DM I gave you about what you guys should do for that gameplay based on Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
Oh my God.
No.
Or the Capcom?
I probably did. I don't know.
You guys need to do a story since we brought up Capcom Collection.
So Capcom SNK already had some minor adjustments, like what we call minor censorship. But yeah.
Really?
Well, it's just been announced. But the Capcom Fighting Collection, Justin Wong, former EVO champion of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, is just tearing up the leaderboards in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 to the point that there's a meme now that everybody on the Steam page is saying I refunded it because I had to fight Wazzler so many times, which is Justin Wong's screen name. So you've got the #1 player of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in the world for like 10 years, 15 years, and he's just in there in the actual matchmaking, just destroying people and using characters that are absolute crap to do it. So nobody's having any fun in the ranked game mode for online. And it's fantastic.
It's insane. Yeah. I mean, there's some players that, it's unfair. Like there are certain guys you don't want to like go a PvP on one-on-one in WoW or whatever. I mean, there's just some players that you're hopeless. Forget it. Not going to happen.
And Justin Wong is the best Marvel versus Capcom 1, 2, or 3 player that has ever lived. So
wow,
it's crazy.
Wow.
You get to say I got the crap beat out of me by Justin Wong, so that's kind of cool. And he's streaming all of it, so
nice.
You end up showing up on his stream if you're playing it.
Interesting. All right, so let's get to this article real quick. Why Space Marine 2 exec YouTube comment became a lightning rod? Saber Interactive. That's right. That's the company that created this game. I'm not going to cover the entire thing.
Is this about Karth?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, dude. I'm going to tell you right now, he doubled down. Did you see the double down?
I did. That's what I want to get to at the very end. Because
beyond the comment he made on Asmongold's.
Oh,
yeah. Because they basically went to Saber Interactive to get a comment, and they basically didn't respond. Let me see if I can find it, because it's fucking hilarious what he said. Let's see here.
Did you go to Kotaku for this story?
Looks like it.
Yeah,
it's very, very, very small.
Yeah. Here, let's me enlarge it for you blind old people.
Yeah. Hey,
beat you to it, culture.
Can you get rid of the ugly person on the right-hand corner, please?
That's a person?
That just makes it bigger.
That just makes it bigger.
There you go. I got rid of him.
Okay.
He said get rid of the ugly person in the right-hand corner.
Culture's gone.
And I...
Oh, okay.
Oh,
unfortunately, it just makes it even worse. That's like 400%. I'm not going to fucking do that. Okay.
Don't you have like a blocker or something?
That's not an ad, dude. That's on their site.
It's a pop-up. Get rid of it. What? Do you not have uBlock Origin?
Dude, I'm using AdGuard, dumbass.
It's not working.
Yes, it is.
Isn't that a game? AdBlock Origin.
I hate it when Daddy and Daddy fight.
Daddy and top daddy and bottom daddy.
Bottom daddy.
Dad and Dad are fighting. No, sorry. Dad and Granddad are fighting.
Oh,
fuck Ian, why were you holding Daddy Culture down while he screamed for God?
Shut the fuck up while I read the article. The YouTube account behind the comment on the uploaded video was only created in May of this year. The BioRed CEO of Saber Interactive, generic male of sorts, loves loud guitars, violent games, fast cars, and all sorts of whiskey. When asked to confirm if the comment really belonged to how do you say this guy's name? Karch? A spokesman for Saber Interactive declined. Saber did not comment on this matter. They told Kotaku in an email. Later, Karch weighed in on the YouTube comment in question on LinkedIn. Whoever wrote this, that seems pretty sharp. That's fucking brilliant. That is really fucking brilliant. Yeah. Because I know there was a lot of speculation on whether that was him or not. And I don't know if that was him or not. But hey, it seems like he agrees. So you never know.
It's very much like an Elon Musk admission. Yes, it was me, but I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to say that was pretty smart or pretty awesome or yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty funny because they did their best to try and drag him in this article, but yet they couldn't find a way.
They haven't quite got enough to do it. They can't quite go there. You know, they're inferring a lot, and they're assuming a lot, but he didn't say anything that could be specifically really targeted with an istophobe comment, you know? So they're struggling hard with it. They just know they're seething, but they're not quite able to express it. Well, they say a lot, of course, like Kotaku usually do, but they say a lot without saying anything, really.
Yes. I was going to say the exact same thing.
It's the sound of a goose farting in the fog, basically.
Yep. Well, I mean, the funny thing about it
salad
is that it's a simpler game, right? Like I said, it's kind of a throwback to a bygone era. It's just fun. It's not overly complex, which, you know, I'm kind of happy with. Like I said, variety is the spice of life. Not everything needs to be simple. Not everything needs to be complex all the time. It's just a great game. That was one thing I was noticing is like, fuck, dude, there's like no leveling in this game. It's like, but you really don't need it. It's like you get access to different weapons. In a lot of ways, the game kind of reminds me of Gears of War a little bit without the cover stuff, right? Which is a game I absolutely adore. And again, there's no leveling. It's just that you get access to new weapons as you go throughout and play various missions and whatnot. And it's the exact same thing with this game. Really enjoyed the hell out of it. Good story. The NPCs in the game were great. You didn't have to do a lot of like depth with characters. I mean, you did have some. You had some very well done conflict in the game between the main character and the NPCs. One in particular, really. And it's just like it was a great story. It's very simple. I enjoyed it.
Well, we used to be able to play games like that. Metroid, you never leveled in Metroid. You just found things and became stronger by finding them.
Yes.
And then you were able to go back and do things. That's why Metroidvania may be the best genre of game that was ever created.
We used to be a country.
Did we?
No, we're just a tree.
Yeah. Now, Dearest said that Cyberpunk would be definitely better without a shitty leveling system. I mean, being it the fact that it's actually based off of a tabletop game, I don't have a problem with it having the leveling system, but not everything needs to have a crafting system, right?
I love crafting in games. I'm an RPG guy. I love a good crafting.
Okay, but
you're old.
Look, the original iteration of the tree and the skill tree and the limited crafting was way better than what we got the second time around. But they fixed all the other problems. So it's like 6 on one hand and half a dozen on the other. And at least I'm not, what's his name is not pulling a gun out of his fucking head at the beginning of the fucking game. So
and sometimes you need the skill trees because that is the replayability.
Yes,
because you can replay it as different builds.
Yes.
I mean, there are certain games that it demands that you have different builds. So
I mean,
it's not always a bad thing. Like you said, simple is sometimes good. Complex is sometimes good.
Sometimes you might want to play as a mage instead of a warrior.
Well, you can do that. You have 3 classes. You can be a corpo, a street kid, and then there's comics.
And leave it to Slithering Peanut to correct me. The original Cyberpunk 2020 did not have levels. You were correct, sir. It was skill points, right? It's the same idea to a degree. I mean, I understand why they changed it for the game because it's a computer game. But yes, you are correct. You got character points or improvement points. I can't remember what they actually called in Cyberpunk 2020 to improve your game. And that's been around with the analog system ever since the original 2013 game. So I mean, I get it. I get what you're talking about, but the idea is just that's kind of how they did it with the skill tree in this.
But the first version was better than the second. I had to figure out what the fuck all this new bullshit was. Sucks.
Yep.
Now you sound like a boomer.
No.
Yes. Actually, I didn't mind the change that they made. I'll be honest with you, I didn't.
Digital warlock.
Digital warlock. Yeah, that's kind of a cool sounding name, honestly. If I ever create a new YouTube channel, that's what's going to be called Digital Warlock.
You're welcome.
That's quite a great name. Yeah. But I'm always a fan of reading Kotaku because I deliciously enjoy their tiers, and I will rate them till the day they close within the next year or two.
Oh no! I think they're 1 year from done.
Yeah, that's what I think, and I'm enjoying every second of their pain and angst and bullshit till then.
I correctly predicted that 9 game studios would close in 2024, and we are way beyond that.
Wow. Real quick, I want to get this to Slithering Peanut. So I got a question for you, man. What are your thoughts on the fusion system? Just curious.
He can't answer you until he types.
I know.
We have to keep talking.
I'm going to. I'm not like waiting. I'm waiting for you to respond.
Are we talking cold fusion? Cold fusion would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
So I think what you need to put in the games is that so you know how they put stuff in where you have to spend money to get the stuff that you need to level up faster.
Microtransactions.
Yeah, the microtransactions and all that. So instead of that, if you can't, once they got all the cyber stuff in your head and all everything, and they control your stuff, instead of paying to get something, they make you go outside and take a walk, and then you get stuff in the game. I think that would be cool.
Well, I like the idea.
They used to do that.
I like the idea that there's commerce.
But it's called Pokemon Go.
To the polls. Sorry.
Culture was making a point.
I'm sorry.
No, I know. I like the idea that you go to a store and you buy a thing. Because
there used to be those reminders where I can't remember which system it was, but there were certain games and certain systems that it was like it would literally pop up a reminder that said, you really should get up and move around 15. Was it the Wii? 15 minutes out of every hour you're playing.
The Wii would be like, hey,
it used to tell you've been playing too long.
Yes, you need
to
get up and move your ass.
There should be a pop-up that says, do you know you're using your parents' credit card?
Yeah. All right. So
do your parents know you're using their credit card?
Hey, do your grandparents know you're using their credit card? Because they're going to be pissed.
Yes.
Their dial-up AOL by the minute.
Yep.
Oops.
All right. Slithering Peanut says, as a system, it was okay, but for the hero system mashup, they tried. It was a touch too limited. Yeah, and that's for the people who aren't in the know and aren't RPG nerds like myself and Slithering Peanut. The fusion system was a mashup between the analog system and the hero system. The hero system is, quite frankly, my favorite game system.
Yes, that clarified so much. It's a mix-up between these other two systems that nobody outside of us knows what we're talking about.
Yes.
Nerds!
I love to talk RPGs.
Let me clarify this for you guys. So there's this system, and it's based off of these two other systems that I'm not going to clarify, but trust me, this system was not the same as these other two systems.
So,
System of a Down.
To explain it, the hero system is a point-based system where you buy your attributes and skills and other stuff and powers and whatnot. The analog system, which is what Cyberpunk originally used, is you basically roll for stats, but you kind of pay for well, actually you don't have to necessarily just
you didn't
roll.
Get laid a lot until you got a real job and had money, right?
What are you
I'm just saying.
Hey,
by women.
No,
tell us more.
Okay. Look, he has other skills.
He does.
He has charm.
Skills that kills. He was on that team. Dodgeball was so funny.
Oh, dodgeball.
Oh man.
All right.
Before we get a game of what? Intimidation and degradation.
We should play that. We should play that trailer for everybody so they know what they were missing.
For dodgeball. Okay. Yeah. Before I pull this over, I know Culture Casino is going to complain. So
Jesus.
I'm gonna head him off at the pass.
You're gonna blow it up first.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow it up super big so Culture Casino can read it, and now I'm gonna share it. See, see how big it is. This is 400%, and this is all you can actually see is the title.
It doesn't need to be that big, dumbass.
That's a bold
really?
move,
It doesn't need to be that big. Okay. I didn't realize.
There is no pleasing you, Culture.
Okay, Dad and Dad.
By the way,
keep going, Dad and Dad.
500%. By the way,
go down. Okay,
we need to go to the Dirty Sanchez in San Antonio.
Goes on. Go on, Dads.
Okay, I know we're an hour into the show, but before we get to the main topic,
wait a second. No. We're addressing
TV,
this right here. Vertical Horizon says, "I am the Patches O'Houlihan of this panel."
That's true.
Well, thanks very much. Yes.
Which he does. It's true. He does drink his own urine. That is true.
That's true.
And he does like the
taste.
Which means that the next time we're in Vegas, Tox is going to be met with a very horrible end.
That's
probably from a sign.
But I get to throw wrenches at all of you.
Oh God, no! Please.
Well, we've all thrown wrenches at you. That's why you're a mod on all of our channels.
That actually might be funny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of foam rubber prop wrenches, and we're going to film throwing wrenches at each other.
There we go. And dodging traffic.
Well,
it's not funny. I'm limber enough to actually dodge wrenches. You guys aren't. I want to throw real ones.
Oh,
I don't think you want. I don't think you want to.
The problem is I'd try and parry it and end up breaking my hand.
I honestly don't think you want to.
That's my masturbation hand.
All right. Let's talk about this movie and how the pre-sales are, I guess, not great. Culture, would you like to break it down for us?
I thought this movie was going to do gangbusters.
This film has gone down like a $3 hoe on nickel night. It has fallen. It's fallen. It's fallen. It's fallen dramatically. 40% plus is just the beginning. Right now, it's sitting at an opening weekend number that is still falling. By the way, of I can't even believe this. It might open to 65 million or less.
When is it supposed to come out?
Fuck if I know.
Gosh, end of the month, I think.
Do we know what the budget looks to be for this?
10.4. So it's October 4th.
So the projections are falling, or people are actually canceling their.
No, the projections are falling. Pre-sales are god awful. Okay. The hype sentiment around it is diminishing. If you were Parrot Analytics right now, you'd be crying to your customers saying, "Oh, your film's gonna suck." But no, this does not have the buzz or anything else that it needs at this point in time to make any appreciable amount of money. This was $200 million spent rather than $55 million spent, and if it makes $1 billion, it's a miracle.
Well,
and Gaga's family by themselves managed to piss off both sides because she came out for Kamala, and then her dad came out yesterday and was like, "No, I'm for Trump."
So the first Joker came out in 2019 of October, November. And granted, I know the box office numbers were a lot different, so I guess you'd have to adjust for inflation. But at the time, didn't that first one already open to 80 or 90 million?
It
did have legs. It did get saved by having legs.
It had a lot. It had incredible legs. I mean,
word of mouth helps.
Look, but here, Nick, your memory is spot on, brother. I mean, everything you just said is amazingly good.
Not bad for a guy who's old now.
But it only cost. Yeah, dude, you got old yesterday. But it only that's the thing, Nick. It only cost $55 million.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, okay. Didn't Todd Phillips say something about how this movie's designed to piss off the people who like the original one?
Yes.
Well,
that's a weird.
It's very meta. It's meta. It's going to destroy it.
Okay. What do we know? What I know we usually keep track of domestic numbers.
Yeah.
But do we have an idea of what the international numbers are? Because if you remember, the international one was at around like 730 or 40 million. Could this movie get saved by that international audience?
No. Okay, so usually the way it works out, Nick, is that if the domestic performance is X amount, the best international is about twice as much.
Okay.
But that number is actually recently kind of like deflated. We've actually seen inverse for performance of domestic films, like Beetlejuice just did that. Several other films have done that. Where the domestic performance is equal to or twice as much as the international performance. So it's going to depend on the movie now. But I'll put it this way: overall performance here. Thank you for bringing up the Joker numbers. Overall performance here, for the expectation is that domestic entire haul at the highest end would be 222 million.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, and Joker was, I'm not going to say saved because, like you said, it was a $55 million film, right? So this was on the cheap. Just with the domestic numbers alone, they made their money back, right?
Yeah.
But it really money in the international box office because $700 million.
That's nothing to frown at.
No,
yeah,
it's
that's
not.
Incredible.
And that's really fucking good.
Yeah, but understand, and I'm gonna say it again, at the absolute highest end for Joker's right now, based on projections, absolute highest end performance is 222 million domestic.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 666 million. It might make a little bit of money. It's not the best number in the world.
No.
But if at the lower end, it makes 168 million right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that means this film was a flop. That's a lot of disparity.
So the only reason I saw the first one was because I heard about the De Niro scene at the near end of the movie, and I really wanted to see that.
Oh yeah, I love
the second one can't recreate that. So
okay, I wasn't aware of the De Niro scene, but what made me want to see it, because initially I wasn't that interested because there was all this buzz, and it makes me wonder if they're doing the same thing. It's like, oh, it's going to be what Alec Baldwin's character was the Trump stand-in figure, right, for this movie. And I was like, fucking Christ, really, this garbage again. And I went into it expecting a shit movie. I really did, and I was like within the first 10 minutes, I was like, wow. It's like, this movie actually might be really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. And my comments about it didn't age well. It's pretty funny. I had a video up and was talking about it, and somebody said, well, this comment didn't age well. I was like, no, it didn't. It was great.
Phoenix typically delivers.
Yeah. No, this is not his fault. It's the complete tonal change that's going to be the problem. Not to mention the fact that it's already been spoiled. You guys want to know the ending?
Is it a full musical still?
Sure.
No, it's a partial jukebox musical.
Bruce Wayne hits puberty and shows up.
No. Look, this film is going to be
it's all a dream in her head.
No, this film is going to be so bad that Bruce Wayne's parents wouldn't even show up to see it.
Well, they can't.
And they're dead.
They've died a lot of times.
That's one of the rare times. Remember when we've all had that conversation about if you know how to time it, if you say something out loud during a movie theater, it can enhance the movie. It was the only time I ever said something during a movie. It was when the parents were about to get murdered. I said, "Oh, here we go again," and people started laughing. Yeah. It was amazing. I was very proud of myself.
Okay, so back to this. So at the end of this movie, there's no Joker 3.
Because
so he dies.
Been killed by her.
Someone, I put it in my freaking review. For those of you who don't want to have spoilers, I'm going to hold up my hand. Mute your sound right now.
I don't care.
Okay. The reason that I titled my video the way I did, someone set us up the bomb, is because someone set them up the bomb. This movie is literally going to bomb twice.
Once in the theater and
so
once at the box
somebody
office.
says blow me in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he kind of already spoiled that himself then, because he came out and said, no, there is no chance I will ever do this drastic weight loss thing again.
It had nothing. Okay. I'm just going to say the character of Arthur Fleck is going to be a bunch of rainbow sprinkles.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though. He kind of already said, I will never do this again. So
human confetti.
He himself isn't going to do it anyway. Yeah.
He gets meat misted. We get the point. Okay.
All right.
Maybe Gaga could be the new Joker, though.
Jesus Christ, no. Please, God, no.
So apparently the first Joker made, I'm looking at the list of countries and box office, in the UK alone, $73.3 million. That's a lot of money. Just
they don't like
the
De Niro
UK
either.
Alone.
Yeah.
South Korea was the next biggest market, 47.8 million.
It's
big money for those countries. Yeah. That's why it did so well. But funnily enough, De Niro was actually quite sympathetic in the movie, I thought. His character started as an ass, but he actually, when he switched that off, he became relatively sympathetic towards the Joker, which made the shocking denouement all the better, of course.
Yeah, I just don't like De Niro. So
no, I mean,
I just wanted to see that scene.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Let's see. Agmar gifted a membership. Oh, looks like at least single memberships are working.
Well, actually, some people can do it.
That's kind of weird.
And some people can't. Dude,
somebody try doing 100 memberships. Let's see if it goes through.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Can you help us out? Try that a few times.
Yeah. Everybody try it. Everyone.
WG for $5 says, I agree. Slubs get corrupted by too much money. So to keep comics sane, I reduced this $100 super chat to $5. Stay gold, pony boy.
Good idea.
I just want to say it was nice seeing WG show up to one of my shows. You know, it's been a long time since I rock and roll. I'm just saying.
Been a long, lonely time.
Yeah. He shows up to me and 70 show all the time.
You look like a Sandman from Logan's Run.
Yeah, he's a major hockey fan.
WG, yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
he is.
I now feel even worse about myself. I'll be back.
Although he has picked a terrible team.
Pinochet's Helicopter Tours for $2. Before streaming, there was Evo Moment 37 with Wong.
The greatest moment in Evo history. Daigo and Justin Wong playing Street Fighter Alpha 3, I believe. And Justin Wong pulls off a super, and Daigo perfect parries it by hitting back to block for each hit of a super with Chun-Li, where she's doing all the kicks up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
He blocks like, what is it, 30, 40 hits?
It's
and then immediately reverses it and goes into a super of his own and catches Justin off guard and wins Evo. Or actually, that may have been the semifinals, but he ends up winning Evo. But yeah, Evo moment, I think it 37. Is that what it was? Greatest Evo moment ever. If you like watching fighting games. No, it's the championships for esports fighting games.
You literally have to be tapping back like a maniac to keep up with those kicks, man.
And timing it perfectly for each kick. And then get the counter hit and do a super to knock Justin out.
Well,
it was the greatest thing you'll ever see in a fighting game.
Once that last kick hits, you have to do a step forward and then start your combo.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, my God.
All right. Deeple for $1 over on the Green Machine says, magnify that death sphere. CC, whenever comics opens the article. Futurama, great show. Digital Warlock is a great band name, too. I watched Where Eagles Dare earlier today. Tonight. A+. Movie, missed those.
Okay. That was the shortest shown super chat I've ever seen on our show. It was there for like all of 3 seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't displayed at all.
It wasn't? Oh, fuck. I did click it. Dude, okay, there's been times where I click something and immediately stops.
Yeah, because, because you have a producer who clicks at the same time. Either that or you're double clicking.
No, I'm only single clicking.
He doesn't even know where the one is. Never mind both of them.
Anyway, Eric K for $2. I thought Culture said he likes it big.
Where is my phone call?
Indeed. Magda Norris for $2 says Black Can't Wong. Also, Eric K gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Eric. That was very kind of you, sir. And also, Jesus Davila gifted a membership.
So 1s and 5s work.
Yeah.
Maybe they fixed it since we went live.
If somebody's trying to drop 100, try harder.
Sorry, sir. Doing my best.
All right, let's start talking about this shit show that is Agatha All Along.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. I had to sit through Rings of Power because I can't take both of them. My heart's too weak. And you're gonna wait? Okay, yeah, fuck you. All right.
He did it last week to me.
Okay, fine.
No,
fine.
wait. No, I don't want to talk about it now. I don't want to talk about it. I gotta go get something to drink.
You have to talk about Agatha now because I will not be here for the Force of Light. No, wait, that's not it. Force of
exactly.
Power of Whatever.
Power 1, Power 2, the Power of many failed projects from Disney.
I think Michelle and Natalie would be very upset that you just confused their name with that.
I know. I was trying to say Force of Power or whatever it was, but I screwed up. So I feel bad. Please don't cancel me, loves. I appreciate you. Okay.
All right.
They don't watch this show.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
In the first episode, apparently Catherine Hahn, who plays Agatha, thought it would be a great idea for her character to walk out of the house naked. And granted, this is a 14 plus show.
Yeah, wasn't it a second episode where she went?
That was first episode.
No.
First episode.
No.
Yeah. First episode.
First episode. No. Yeah. So the thing that's kind of weird about it is I understand the symbolism, what they're trying to do, right? She's stripping off the layers of the mind control that has been put on her.
She's been broken down to having no power.
Yes. Yes, exactly. As the article put, that she's been broken down to having no power, and so she's been stripped bare. But the script originally called for her putting on a robe before she went outside. But apparently Kathleen Hahn decided that she wanted to go walk out naked.
Which people might have cared to see back in, say, Step Brothers days.
Look,
I don't know about now.
Okay, so like if you're an older fella, you know,
I'm 50. She's a year older than me. Overall, I have to say for a 50-year-old broad, she still looks pretty good.
She has a fine grandma ass.
Yeah.
Yes.
This guy.
Almost as nice as yours, Culture. Almost.
No, I'm so going to hell.
Like I said,
even Sherry says nobody wants to see a 51-year-old wrinkly ass.
This is a really weird conversation right now.
All right, so
they're all such ageists. It's terrible.
The thing that bothered me about it was not the fact that she was naked; it's the fact that they had a teenage girl just gawking at her, which I thought was kind of weird. That
especially in a show where they've said it's the gayest show ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
so far it's the nakedest Marvel show ever.
and she says, "Eat my ass," which I thought was
also
fucking stupid, but whatever.
Well, hey,
so
I mean,
unsanitary.
look, she is signing everybody up for a human centipede.
Yeah. Guilt lives matter. Indeed.
Is that what a coven does?
Well,
Coven
apparently in this, there's gonna be a lot of scissoring.
Did we see a Dark
Dude,
diary?
did you see the symbolism? She throws the keys at the kid she just kidnapped, who's been tied up in the closet, and the keys are actually a pair of scissors.
Are they? I missed that. That's funny.
I remember her getting the scissors after she gets into what was supposed to be a car in her mind because she's obviously an idiot.
Yeah, well, she wasn't doing well at that point in the show. And look, all these bitches are crazy.
Yeah, there's okay. Part of it too. Sorry, what was that?
Are we going episode by episode, or are we just going both episodes full bore? Because the other ones don't come in until the second episode.
Yeah. We can go episode by episode. We'll start off with the first one, I suppose, because it's the first one, obviously.
You do that again, Tox. We're having words.
Okay.
Not if he mutes you.
I didn't mute you. I'm working on the Awards of Power intro.
Okay, well then it's
we can hear you typing.
Freaking Ian.
I didn't fucking mute you.
Okay, something muted me. I was just trying to say
it was the universe. It was the universe.
I will throw you out of here, 70s.
It's true. He can.
Okay, back to it. I wouldn't throw him out of here. Well, Brian.
You should.
Okay. Shut up. So anyway, episode 1 isn't worth covering. It's confusing for no reason. It's like, hey, we're being confusing for a reason. No, it was bullshit. It was uninteresting. It was the worst episode of CSI I've ever seen.
Or NCIS,
or
any
NCIS,
procedural,
any cop procedural.
It's like, hey, let's shove some fucking like NCIS, CSI, fucking Charmed, The Craft. Let's see how much other bullshit. We're gonna bring in Hocus Pocus. We're gonna shove all that shit into one episode and mix it together Makes it.
I'm going to share something in a moment from Steph, which I thought was hilarious because like the funny thing I thought with the first episode is like, wow, Catherine Hahn is doing a great impersonation of a man because that's how her character was acting. It's like, what the actual fuck? But the funny thing is, Steph, she apparently they fucking ripped off Miss Congeniality.
I saw that tweet. I don't know what it means because I never watched Miss Congeniality. But...
I didn't either, but they were. She basically was comparing.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, various
she's
scenes of both characters.
Yeah,
and it's literally the same fucking thing. They ripped off Miss Congeniality.
Yeah.
So let's watch this.
All right.
So this is from Miss Congeniality.
To get to the front of the line at the library.
And Sandra Bullock did a lot better.
FBI, you might want to stay out of it.
Official police business. Excuse me.
Now, how long you been doing this peasant training thing?
I'm sorry? Sorry. Well, thanks a bunch for your help, Dottie. You've been an absolute angel. Incidentally.
Oh my God. I haven't seen a walk like that since Jurassic Park.
This doesn't make any sense where she fucking shoves the donut down her throat.
It's just to show that she's a slob and a guy.
Yes.
And she's like us.
That was basically it. Yeah.
What cop doesn't have a donut, remember?
Yeah.
Well,
I was thinking about that too.
It was all low-hanging fruit because they went for all the stereotypes that they absolutely disdain.
They tried to make... Go.
No, I was just going to say, including the gay stereotype of Billy, who is wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they tried to make fun of police procedurals, which are some of the longest running shows on TV. They're about the only thing that has survived the last 20 years. And they did it so poorly. They made her so unlikable and just an absolute bitch about everything. And
they didn't stop. Even when she wasn't woken funny. Up, she's still awful.
Yeah, it wasn't even remotely funny. They overacted everything. The police chief is an absolute cuck and has, stains on his shirt, and that's supposed to be what shows that she's a detective. She sees stains.
It's I think it's discount David Schwimmer is what I was calling him.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the lack of chin like Schwimmer.
Yeah, the thing that... First off, Agatha is supposed to be a villain. Remember, and WandaVision is also a villain too. So the thing I find funny is apparently Jack Schaefer, who is the showrunner for the series, really likes evil bitches, right? Because apparently she is one. It goes back to what we say about the whole thing with how they identify with the villain,
villains,
which is the reason why they hate superheroes or heroism in general. The issue is. And Catherine Hahn is actually a good actress.
She is
usually,
but she is not in this. She overacts, and the thing that's kind of funny about it is Aubrey Plaza, who is in the first episode, not a whole lot. She comes off as more natural than Catherine Hahn does,
and it's about as much personality as she's ever shown in her life.
Yeah,
wow. She's had some pretty good roles where she
has good roles, but she's always playing deadpan.
Yes.
No reaction to anything. This, she actually tried to show emotion. This is the only time I've ever seen her actually show any real emotion.
Brahma, you're a movie guy. Did you ever see Lucky Number 11?
Mm-hmm.
Probably, but I don't remember her in it.
He had, I think the term was ataraxia.
That was Hartnett.
Oh gosh, I don't remember his name.
Josh Hartnett.
The guy who came back recently.
Isn't that who starred in them? I'm trying to figure out if I've seen the movie.
So, I think, yeah. But anyway, he has ataraxia, which he doesn't feel stuff.
Oh,
so
okay.
He has that whole like non-involved affectation, let's say.
Sure.
So I feel like she might be a person that really has that. Because I think she has very few moments of actual joy.
No, I think she has the driest sense of humor in the world outside of Matt Walsh. That's what I think.
Oh, gosh.
I think she full on knows what the joke is.
Okay.
I think she just has a extremely dry sense of humor, and it's worked for her whole career. I'm just saying, this is the only thing I've seen her actually play with some emotion.
Well, okay, so when she was acting in the fight scene, I loved that. I was like, okay,
she legit is the best part of the show so far.
Yeah, and then they're looking at each other during the fight scene. I'm like, well, that's eye fucking.
Yeah.
But then they do the stupidest thing ever, another trope. Agatha's like, well, why don't you let me get the full power and then you can kill me? After she was already going to kill her and obviously wanted to kill her, and they're trying to play it off like they were former lovers or something as well. And then it's like, well, let me get the full power. Okay, but there's 7 other people coming to kill you tonight, so I want to kill you, but I'm going to let those 7 take care of it because they're obviously far more powerful than me.
It's against the rules.
It wasn't against the rules.
Well, that's what she said. She did say that, which I thought was kind of stupid.
Then why is she there trying to get her memory back in the first place?
Writing.
Well, and here's the weird thing, right? So it's obviously notable that she no longer has the black fingertips. She notices that because she doesn't control the Darkholds anymore.
She has no power.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but she doesn't control the Darkhold diaries, which is how she got those powers in the first place.
Right, but at the same time, the only way she can get power is if somebody attacks her. That's why Aubrey Plaza comes in and attacks her physically instead of magically. So she doesn't lose her power.
Yeah.
What was the freaking point?
No,
she
there wasn't
gives
any.
her memories back, does not kill her when that's obviously what the goal was. And this is still just episode 1, 15 minutes into it.
Yep.
What?
Ish.
Why? I mean, why give her memories back if all you're trying to do is kill her, but you're not allowed to kill her because of the rules, but somebody else will come kill her, but all you really want to do is have her dead? None of it makes sense.
No, it doesn't. The issue with the show is it's poorly written. It's really boring. And like I said, the best thing about it is Aubrey Plaza, because she comes off as natural and believable for what her motivations are. Kathleen Hahn overacts. It just comes off as goofy and unlikable and uninteresting. And that's kind of the issue with a lot of this stuff is that it's what we've been seeing in entertainment when it comes to female characters. You can't have a feminine character anymore, even though Aubrey Plaza's character actually does come off as being feminine female in a bitch, and it comes off great. Where the main character, the protagonist of your show, or antagonist, depending on how you look at it, is annoying, spiteful, unlikable, and uninteresting. And it's like, and why did you make this show? Who is it for?
That reflects the writers, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It reflects their personalities, the creators and the writers.
Yeah. The funny thing about it, and I hate fucking saying this, but this is the reality of what it is. Who is this show for? A bunch of middle-aged women that have nothing interesting or worthwhile saying. That's what the show is.
It's for the brat women, like Kamala Harris, the drunken ants. I mean, that's the only people who could possibly care about this show.
Yeah.
You mean the drunken wine moms? Oh wait, the drunken white liberal.
Yeah, I went with ants
moms
because Kamala's not a mom. But
well, I mean, wait, did you see this? Okay, I'm not gonna say it. I'll be nice.
Yeah, as the lovely Sherry says, it's not for me. It's not for anyone except for wine ants.
It's the same people that She-Hulk was for. I mean, that's who it's for. She-Hulk was the sexuality side of it. This one is the, same crowd, but we're not going to get to the sexuality till later because we're going to go full on gay, apparently, according to all the cast.
The funny thing about it, and we'll get to that in a second, because the first clip I saw was from, Aubrey Plaza when he asked the question about this is the gayest Marvel show we've ever seen.
That's that variety.
It better be, because that's what I signed on for.
Yeah,
okay, but that's that variety, and that's.
I kind of think she was trolling, though.
Me too.
Based off of Fulcher said last time we talked about it.
Yeah, it's definitely that's her personality. She's one of my favorites. But let's just say this: that guy always asks those types of questions. That's what Variety pays that stupid fucker for.
That was the only question he asked.
He always ends up on the right side.
Over.
Yes, he always ends up on the right-hand side of the screen because he knows what his best side is. And let me tell you, he's always dressed fabulous. So, he's prepared to ask the only set of questions that he ever asks anybody. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he actually does ask more questions because I went looking for all the, times he asked it, because he asked Aubrey Plaza, he asked Catherine Hahn, the black chick, apparently Jack Schaefer as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, come on, Jack Schaefer, obvious.
Yeah.
Obvious. Jack Schaefer's done nothing but shit like this.
Yeah.
She has shown
much. Yeah.
Well, she's shown disdain for pretty much everything she's done for Disney because she didn't like comic book stuff.
No.
And she is one of those directors that they hired because she didn't like things. Well, fuck you.
I don't understand hiring somebody to actively hate something to be put in charge of something, right? I mean, I don't expect when you hire an actor or director to be the biggest fan, but what I do think is that if you actively hate it, you should not be hired. That doesn't make any sense as a company, as any kind of business decision. You want to hire the person who's going to go and absorb that material and make the best piece of entertainment as possible, as true to the source material as you possibly can. And I understand that they have to take liberties with some things, right? I don't expect like a 100% accurate, X-Men or Spider-Man or whatever, kind of TV show or movie. I understand, but it's whether you capture the spirit of the character or the team, which is important.
But the key to what you said is entertainment.
Yes.
And this is not entertaining.
No, it is not. That's the problem.
Not
with
even
the
a
show.
little bit.
No. Hi, Belle. Welcome. You saw Agatha. What are your thoughts on the show?
Oh my gosh, it's just horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And licking a knife, it's not a turn on. Not a turn on in any universe that I know, but yet on X, that was the biggest thing that I saw that people were,
they are witches, aren't they? I mean, it's
yeah,
isn't it a witch thing.
Right. But they were like, it's just so much sexual tension. I can't stand it. This is going to be so good.
But the thing we kind of passed over by going directly into episode 1.
Right.
Did anybody watch the countdown with all of the cast members doing the ASMR bullshit?
Yes. Oh, I saw. Oh my gosh, that was awful.
It's not entertaining for you.
Exactly.
It's not entertaining
That's the
for
point.
a lot of people.
And we're calling out it's not entertaining for us.
Yeah.
If you liked it,
hey,
good for you.
That's the thing. It's like people actually out there that legitimately enjoy it. Hey, knock yourself out. Not trying to ruin your fun. I will question your taste, but I'm not gonna berate somebody for liking something.
No,
go for it all day long.
Yeah,
70,000.
That doesn't make us like it at all.
Yeah.
No, but 70,000 people wanted season 2 of the Yakalite.
Fuck, dude, I want a season 2 of the Acolyte. What are you talking about?
Okay. The only reason I want the Acolyte to come back is because I need to make money on my channel.
Yeah, but we do the Acolyte that we just continue to suffer through more
trash. But the minute this show goes to Rings of Power, I am out of here.
I thought you wanted to know how the love story ends there on that island with that guy and girl.
Epstein.
Yeah, that's the first
Mr. Greasehead and his little girlfriend.
Weinstein.
Oh, okay.
Well, and the other thing too, and okay, so let's talk about the whole thing with the reviews, because I'm actually legitimately surprised that the reviews are that positive, and we'll talk about it. So Augusta says, I loved it. It also has positive reviews. Yeah, like I said, I'm actually surprised by that. But at the same time, probably a lot of people that would leave a negative review aren't watching it. I think that's the counterpoint to that. Because there's been a lot of things where even like the Marvels was like, oh, but it has all these positive reviews. It's like, yeah, because nobody fucking showed up to watch it.
Yeah, but the Marvels literally saved lives. No, that was
Yeah.
the Eternals, but
That was the
it's
Eternals.
all of them.
They all saved lives, right? You know, it's this representation shield they try to put up in front of all of this. And look, that shield gets knocked down when you make $200 million on a $327 million budget.
Yeah, but it gets up again.
The Marvels
It
was
gets
the
knocked
lowest
down.
grossing
Get up
MCU
again.
thing,
I
and
got
that's even with, and that's way lower than the Edward Norton 2008 The Incredible Hulk.
And look, I am one to speak because my favorite film, which is a guilty pleasure, is Showgirls.
I want to know, are you
We
going to
know.
see this Pamela Anderson, The Last
Yes, I
Showgirl?
am. Yes,
Because
I
that
am.
looks really good, actually.
It does.
Yeah.
And so does this new thing. The Substance with Demi Moore.
That
That's
looks
out this
pretty good,
weekend.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's freaky as F. So I will see that by Sunday and drop a review by Monday because it looks bonker sauce. I'm like, wow.
So our fan favorite, Paul Tassi, who wrote an article about Agatha All Along. It is the lowest MCU, or second lowest, actually. Sorry, my bad. Because Secret Invasion, which is literally the worst, takes the cake. But this is the second lowest when in comparison to the other stuff. Okay, so we have
Second worst reviewed
so far.
Yes, so far. Obviously. Okay, Miss Marvel coming at 98% critic score, 80% audience score. WandaVision, like I said, I enjoyed the first 5 episodes of WandaVision before it took a serious nosedive into the ground. Hawkeye was not good, but was it what's the girl's name that played Kate Bishop? She was charming. I thought she did a fine job despite the material she was given.
The worst material ever given to human.
Yeah,
ever.
Loki, both seasons were shit. Moon Knight was complete shit.
I like Loki. He's one of the best YouTubers out there. He's got a GoFundMe going. He needs our support right
He
now.
has a really good gaming channel.
Oh yeah,
Falcon, Winter Soldier, awful. She-Hulk, I fucking love She-Hulk.
I got to stop you.
I feel robbed.
Moon Knight.
Robbed
I
that
don't know,
She-Hulk is
Moon
not getting
Knight-
another season.
The closing credits of Moon Knight have been the best thing that they pushed out in Marvel in years.
Oh, yeah, which they birthed out of Marvel.
The closing credits. That was it. It was of all the things they've done. I enjoyed the closing credits of Moon Knight.
And I'm pretty sure that was just copied from Black Sails or something.
It probably was.
Black Sails or there's a few shows that probably just copied.
Culture, when you share that screen, would you make sure that you do it to 300%? Do all the ad blocks so we don't have to bitch slap you around.
Okay, so Agatha is at 67. I think these numbers actually have gone up at this point. Let me see if I can go find them. Because I want to say the audience score has jumped to 80%.
Yeah,
and this is actually 70.
It got positively review bombed after it failed.
They don't review bomb.
Oh, they don't positive review bomb culture. That's
sorry.
Those aren't called review bombs. Those are
Comics
called
did a
actual,
lot of,
actual reviews. It's only when it goes negative that it's a bomb.
I just want you to look at this article for comparison from Paul Tassi's Forbes guy thing. That's what I'm sharing at the moment.
Okay. And Secret Invasion, which was garbage, 52%, 44. Like I said, overall, I mean, as trash factor goes, I mean, Agatha isn't nearly as trashy as She-Hulk so far. I mean, it's not good. I like I said, I found it to be rather dull and uninteresting, and Aubrey Plaza is the best thing about it. So,
well, we still have episode 2 to go through.
Yeah, we do. We have episode 2 to go through.
And to be honest,
all right, well, I'm going to head to the bathroom and throw up. I'll be right back.
Okay, you do that, Tox.
The thing that's weird about this is from the trailers that we saw of this, I really thought they were going to try to go Halloween and try to make it something like, a Disney Halloween type show. And they ended up making it, 14 plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this article from Paul Tassi, way back from June 29th of this year, says Agatha All Along is essentially guaranteed to be the MCU's least watched show.
Well, you'd have to watch WandaVision and
But understand, Brahma, this was in June. This was June 29th when he was predicting correctly that no one would give two shits about this.
I think we all could have predicted that. I mean, what? Nobody cared about WandaVision after 4 or 5 episodes. She was a character that nobody gave a crap about. They sat there and teased an actual bad guy in WandaVision, and it turns out to be Agatha All Along, and we do a stupid song. Nobody cared about Agatha.
It turned out to be Scarlet Witch all along.
Well, yeah. But then they announced this show, and everybody was like, why would anybody care? I mean, where's the tie-in for this and anything? And I mean, we don't even really like the tie-ins at this point, because everything is a tie-in that you have to watch this piece to watch this piece to watch this piece to watch this piece.
Well, okay. So part of it is that I'm not going to say this is a part of a bygone era of the MCU. It kind of is. It kind of is. I don't know. Only time will tell, right? Because we know that Kevin Feige has said, yeah, phase 4 and 5 have been a disaster. We need to course correct. The issue is the fact that in order for them to course correct, there's a bunch of other things they have to get through first, right? We had to get through Echo. We have to get through this show. We have to get through, was it Black Falcon, Captain America, Winter Soldier, whatever that movie's going to be, Brave New World, whatever the fuck it is.
Captain America, The Great Reset.
Yeah, Captain America, The Great Reset button. And then what else we have? We have Ironheart, which we know they don't want to air. This show has been done for a while.
Long time.
2022 at this point, Culture?
So.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
That sounds about right.
We're supposed to release it in 2022.
Okay, so
for some delays.
And it's been delayed to what, February of next year?
Yeah, okay, let's do this the real way. None of anything coming out in a while is going to be good.
Right.
So even if they're course correcting, this is already recorded and done.
Yeah, it's done and done. Do you know why you have not seen Ironheart yet?
Because it's going to be bad.
It's pish.
Because they need a time of the year where they can just dump something all at once and nobody cares.
They have to echo the shit out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So
they might dump this on Spotlight. Okay, they had to create a new brand. This would have been a Marvel Spotlight thing had that been worth the shit. But I have a feeling that they created Marvel Television to try to get distance from Marvel Spotlight, and now they're poisoning Marvel Television.
So basically, Marvel right now is in the position that Warner Bros. Was a few years ago. Like, wow, we got Aquaman sequel, Shazam sequel, the Not Flash movie, and a Blue Beetle movie. So basically, they know they have a row of shit, and they have to stick
Black
it
Adam
out.
was in there.
Oh yeah, Black Adam too. Yeah, no, you're right. Black Adam as well.
Yeah, it's
so
like,
they know that the next year or two is gonna be absolute crap, and they're just gonna release it all anyway.
Yes. Okay,
but we ain't gonna release Batgirl though. That's different.
Well, here comes the dog shit is what we should have called this last year for DC, and what we should call this year for Marvel. Here comes the dog shit. Yes, we know. And then and look, the interesting part of it all, and I think this is what's going to happen. The only thing that has a halfway decent shot of being good in Marvel Television is Daredevil, because they rebooted the shit out of it.
I hope they unfuck that show.
Well, you saw that they brought back because they originally didn't have Deborah Ann Woll, who was Karen Page, and Eldon Hansen, who was Foggy Nelson. They originally weren't in the original version of the show. They brought them back for this one.
Yep.
So they started back from scratch. I think they were like 8 or 9 episodes in, and on top of it, it's not going to be like 23 or 24 episodes. Apparently, it's only going to be like 9 or 10 now. So they've trimmed off a lot of fat, and they brought back other characters. My one concern still with that, because even though they're saying it's going to be the most brutal show that's ever come out under their banner, I still have a concern about some of the writing people involved.
Well, if
so the
Echo,
names are not the most promising names.
If Echo is in this show, it's guaranteed dog shit.
I haven't heard anything about Echo being in the show. I do know that they're.
I thought they're bringing
Kate
Bishop into it. Is what I heard.
I haven't heard anything. I mean, you might be right. It's just nothing. What I do know is that they're clearly basing it off the Mayor Fisk storyline from 7 or 8 years ago, where Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, became the mayor of New York City, and there's a deranged artist villain named Muse who is in it. He's clearly, and he's in the preview that got around before it got removed online. Muse is in it. Obviously this will have Punisher involved, but it's clear that they're going to have that storyline definitely being drawn out into the show. So they're taking from Charles Soule.
Okay, so real quick, I know that Culture's going to have to bounce soon. Let's talk about episode 2.
Yeah. Let's get the band together.
Yeah.
Let's go find us 2 old witches, a gay witch, an Asian witch, and a black witch.
Yeah.
I would say everybody here, other than Billy, is ambiguously gay as it is.
Who is Billy?
The gay
Wiccan.
kid.
Yeah, Wiccan. Yeah. The teen.
Which everybody has known forever. All you have to do, okay, Marvel's not smart, folks. So if you ever want to know what's going on in the show when they're trying to hide something, change the language in the subtitles. That's all you have to do.
Okay.
Because in this latest thing, the teen in any other language other than English is Billy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Since he doesn't have a name in this.
Not yet. Yep. They wasted 2 episodes hiding something from you already knew, and Paul Tassi told you about on June 29th.
Yeah. That the teen is going to be Wiccan.
Actually, my guess, since I don't read comics, was that he was going to end up being the bad guy because they kept hiding the name.
He's actually a good guy. He's in the new Avengers with Kate Bishop and
Miss
Marvel.
He's supposed to be, but we're talking about writers who have no concept of heroism. So he might actually end up being a villain. Culture might actually be onto something.
I'm saying
that was Brahma.
Yeah, I'm saying since I don't read the comics, what they are setting him up to be from a non-comic book person.
Yeah,
they're setting him up to be the villain in this. Is what it seems like.
Well, yes, he would be a villain to the villains. You're correct.
Could be.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that would be how this is going.
Does that make him
the
a good
villains,
guy?
Yes,
because the villains are the protagonist of this. So
and he's gay.
That makes sense.
He's gay in the comics. So
yeah, Wiccan is canonically gay in the comics.
Yeah, and it maintains the canon.
Yeah,
he's one of the 2 sons of Scarlet Witch, Maximoff.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's very strange. This is the weirdest thing, right? So the purple magic that Agatha has is influenced by the Darkhold, but she also, back in canon, had a interesting moment with an Infinity Stone. So, hence the purple magic. This is shit nobody knows because they don't read books anymore, but yeah.
The Spirit Stone?
The purple one.
Isn't that the Spirit? Or is that reality?
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah,
could be reality.
Augustus keeps bringing up he could be Nick Scratch.
I doubt it.
This got spoiled kind of like
not
a long time ago. So yeah, I'm like I said, within a certain amount.
They're saying the Power Stone.
Okay, a certain amount of reasonable.
Not the Pander Stone then.
Yeah, not the Pander Stone. Within a certain degree of error, I'm relatively positive that it's actually Wiccan.
It's Wiccan. And the other thing is most people don't understand. Well, I tried to explain this in my video. I'm like, there's actually canon here. Why is this? Why is that? Why is all this? And it's the Darkhold diaries that turn her fingers black. Her fingertips are black from the Darkhold.
Right.
So, you have they were taken away from her by Scarlet Witch. So hence she was trapped in the same weird television hex thing that she was trapped there forever. So, but not anymore.
Well, 3 years.
Right.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be,
she's trapped for 3 years.
It was supposed to be forever. It was supposed to be
like
a Luciferian hell loop. is what
until
it was supposed
Aubrey
to be.
Plaza comes in and gives her memories back for no reason.
Yeah.
When she
Why
wants
do
to
you
kill her.
hate me? That was one of the best lines. Do you remember
Do you remember why you hate me?
Yeah, it's so good. She is okay. I will say this: Aubrey Plaza is basically the best thing in the show, but
Yes.
she's also the best actor in the show.
Yes.
So there's that.
Currently, I mean, Han is a good actress.
I can't.
She's been great in other things.
I agree with
It's
you.
not in this show.
No. Okay, let's get to
she
episode
overdid
2.
it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so she's got to get her coven. So
Yeah.
she goes and visits a witch that has divinity as her
Yes.
power.
Yeah.
Divination, not divinity.
Divination. Sorry. Yeah. And yeah, so she reads the magic crystal ball, makes up a whole bunch of crap, and then convinces them by saying, all the actual stuff that's going on in Agatha's life. So then they convince her.
Technically,
to a
she
degree.
She's a medium, though, right?
Yes, but it's a
Divination.
divination witch
Okay.
is what they needed for the group.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she has a vision, writes down a whole bunch of names on a piece of paper. These are the witches that will join the coven, and her name happens to be on it. So there, she's in the group. And then we go to every other witch that you need for the group, because you need a certain type of witch to get to the witch's road. So if any of you want to take over from there.
How many episodes is this supposed to go?
9.
6?
9.
9, or are they half
We
hour?
just had 2. First one, okay,
40,
so
they're 40 minutes, roughly.
Yeah. Technically, if you add all of the credits in and everything else, the 2 episodes together are about 80 minutes.
Wow, this is making the dance scene in Spider-Man 3 not look like a waste of filming.
Well, I'll take it one witch further. The next witch she goes to find is the chick who's like an influencer who is not got any of her powers anymore, but
Right.
she's supposed to be the alchemist type witch.
Yeah.
And she walks in and immediately says, I need a new jade egg, which is a Benoit ball, because her pelvic floor is so
Weak.
low.
Weak.
And then talks about Kegels at the end of that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 2 ladies
Nothing wrong with
talking. There were 2 ladies in there in her shop that were talking to her about all this mysticism stuff that is
edible candles.
Yeah,
that
balderdash.
probably smell like what's her face's pussy. And taste, apparently, because they're edible.
Rama, you leave what's her face and her vagina smell out of this.
What the hell is her name?
I don't know who she is, but I can smell her from here.
Pepper Potts.
Pepper
it's
Potts,
the chick
yeah.
who plays Pepper. I can't remember the actor.
Apple.
Gwyneth
Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow. Thank you.
Papaya.
Papaya.
Whatever her name is.
Papaya Paltrow.
All right. So yeah, the other thing too is that when she's like living in the fantasy of in a cop show, she the teen that's what we'll call him because that's what he's been officially dubbed at this point, broke into her house, I guess, and to steal something or whatever, and she arrests him, takes him to the station. Turns out it's her house, and that's where you kind of start finding out that the fantasy is kind of falling apart, and ultimately he's trying to recruit her because he wants to go to the witch's road too to gain his power, and so he's technically the first recruit at this point. So they go to the
he's
the
her little
alchemist.
bitch.
Yeah, basically.
He's not in the coven. He's a little bitch.
That's basically how she treats him. So they go and they recruit all the witches that I guess have been bound in some capacity. Is that?
Yeah.
Yes. Apparently, none of them have magic, but they're all able to do magic.
Well, they
kind of.
They have limited magic. Yes.
No, some of them. So at this point, Agatha has no magic.
Yeah. The teen has no magic.
The black chick has no magic. The teen has no real magic. I mean, he's just studying, I think, mean, from what we've seen. The green witch is literally just a chick from down the street that grows plants.
Yeah, and because it was supposed to be Aubrey Plaza's characters, what I'm assuming.
That's what I thought too, because of the dark heart, and they made a very specific thing about her having a black heart.
Right.
Which is also a character, Blackheart. But Blackheart is not a chick. I don't know where they're going with it, but somehow they start singing towards the end of the episode.
Oh, and there's also the Asian chick. Apparently, whose mother got lost on the Witch's Road, disappeared,
but also created the song that is thousands of years old that they need to chant to get to the Witch's Road because she was a famous music artist, and a witch, and now she's a security guard at Hot Topic.
But originally was a cop.
Yeah,
but now she's a security guard.
So we've got our two old witches, our gay witch, our Asian witch, and our black witch, and they all start singing together, except for one of the old witches, because she apparently doesn't know that she's a witch because she's the green witch because she grows plants. So everybody has to chant together to get the door to open, but one witch doesn't even know she's a witch or know the words to the song.
I don't even think she's a witch.
But it still works.
I guess we'll find out.
Somehow it still works, even though you have to have them all working in harmony according to the rules that they laid out. And she's not singing anything until the very end when they're just repeating lines, and the door still opens. I don't know what the writing is doing there, because you've obviously said, she doesn't know what's going on here, and yet she's got the power to help open this door to the Witch's Road, which is supposed to be very specific in how you do it.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. What are they planning on doing for 9 episodes? Because we're 2 episodes in. They've reached the Witch's Road. Are they going to be on the road for the rest of the 7 episodes at this point?
They might be, and they'll get there at the end of the second to last episode.
Because that's one of the
what
things
happens for the rest of this.
Well, yeah, because that's one of the things that we always talk about is that whenever they do a series like this, it's like they end up doing a really stretched out movie, right? Because there's a lot of times where they have these ideas. It's a 2-hour movie. They go, oh, we're not going to make the movie. We'll just fill it with filler, stretch it out into like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 episodes.
Yeah, and are we now on the Yellow Brick Road? I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
But didn't it say in the first episode, all roads lead to Salem, like in the background and stuff?
But the Salem ones are the ones who are trying to kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think those are supposed to be the witches
out of the Witch's Road.
Yeah, because if you saw WandaVision, you would know basically kind of Agatha's origin story, where she goes and kind of absorbs the magic of the witches from Salem.
Yeah,
killing all of them.
I saw.
I'm assuming that's who that's supposed to be.
Then why are they there if she killed all of them and took their magic? Because they obviously still have magic, or did they get it back when she lost a Darkhold? They're not telling us anything.
But didn't they rewrite the story too along the way, Culture? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Because
I don't know.
I remember somebody saying that they had changed the script completely somewhere along the way.
Well, I mean, if you change the script and it's for the better, well, okay, whatever. But it doesn't feel like they got the right people involved to change the script to make it for the better.
Yeah, it's actually quite disjointed at this point for a whole lot of reasons. In addition to kind of moving things around within it, but you're not wrong. There's a lot of inconsistencies in the logic of the show and the dialogue. But yeah, all roads do lead to Salem. It was said twice, I think, during the course of the show. So, but again, going through the Witch's Road will re-grant them their power. Now, do you want to know what's happening in the background? So each episode, or in the episodes, they will each encounter their own escape room house.
Okay.
And those houses are going to be like their witch trials, but they're not the trials in the sense of like they're in Salem, but the trials in as they have to pass them.
Trials and tribulations, right? Yeah, the idea that you're having to pass the trial to ascend or whatever.
Yeah. And each of them are based on, very similarly to a WandaVision, on a different era. Oh, and according to Alan Ing, be prepared for that song to return. The song we all despise now.
In the third episode?
Only in a rock and roll or a like a metal version.
Okay.
Say what?
Did Alan? It was only the 3
At least
episodes
Nick
that
will be
they
able
got,
to
right?
see himself on the show.
They got 4
I know,
episodes.
right?
Alan got 4, and
Okay,
and we're going to be treated to at least 2 houses in the next 2 episodes.
So that must be the house for the House of Hardness for the first title.
I don't know, but that's
But
where
you
all this
care.
stuff. Not really, but that's where all the stuff comes from. Sorry, but that's where all the stuff comes from in the part of the trailer we haven't seen already. Is the next couple of houses.
And I'm sorry, but when they asked, or when they started talking about the rock musician that was a witch, did anybody else go straight to Stevie Nicks, thinking they were going to do Stevie Nicks as the White Witch again?
Well,
no, actually, I didn't even think about that.
That was the first thing I thought of. Stevie Nicks going to be in it.
I fully expect it because they did it in American Horror Story. I'm ready for it to load up.
And she's always been known as the White Witch.
Yeah, she is. And you know what? She deserves that title.
Yeah.
And I love. Oh wait, for the record, I love Stevie Nicks. So don't get me wrong.
I love Fleetwood Mac. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah,
that's what's wrong with you too.
I always love the
expected
comparison
it to
of
be
Stevie Nicks and a goat in South Park. That was funny.
I full on expected it to be Stevie Nicks that they were talking about. Instead, it was an Asian woman that made a rock song and then disappeared on the Witch's Road. There's not much else to say. I mean, nothing else happened. They take off their shoes and start walking.
Oh yeah, that's right. They take their shoes off, and the Salem 7 shows up and it attacks the house.
Right, but then it gets blocked out because the second the door closes to the Witch's Road, it turns to dirt, so they can't get in. So now they're completely separated. I mean, obviously, at some point, they've got to get their powers back to fight the Salem 7.
Right.
But, I mean,
hey,
I don't know.
You'll see you're a gypsy.
Yeah. Just like a one-winged dove.
Yeah. Mike, let me see. Get Mike's comment. I haven't watched Agatha.
It's the Sisters of the Moon.
I'm in the best timeline for now.
You are, Mike.
Coach, you want to stick around for Rings of Power? Or you want to get out of here?
Oh, I gotta go, dude. I was supposed to go like a long time ago.
Nick's taking off with him, I think.
Yeah,
yes, I will go out with culture.
What we'll do is we'll get you guys out of here. We'll finish off by talking about Rings of Power.
Okay.
And
very quickly, look, you can be treated to amazing game stories only in one place. That game place.
Hey, go do the Justin Wong story.
I will actually. That's part
do
of
it.
this.
Do it.
Calm
do
down.
it. Do it.
Do
it.
Wait
a second. I was doing this earlier. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
I hear nothing.
I know. I muted
was
culture.
Such good fun.
Oh.
I muted culture. He has to unmute himself.
Okay, so you did mute culture last time.
No, I didn't. I didn't touch it.
You truly did.
I wouldn't do that to him.
Yes, you would.
Even though you just did it.
You just did it.
You literally just did it, Tox.
Yeah.
Yes, I literally just did it. But I didn't
You
mean
did
to
it literally, though. You did it literally.
All right. Now, culture. Remember, we've got another topic, so you can't go 30, 40 minutes.
Okay.
We got to keep this to a tight 5.
Okay, that game plays. Check that out. Then check out my channel. For those of you who are not subscribed, why? You should just subscribe. Just go over there. Subscribe. Leave the show right now and subscribe to Culture Casino on YouTube, Rumble.
You can do
Minds,
both.
Odyssey,
Open a second tab.
and
You can
Getter.
do both.
Yeah. Why?
That takes right-clicking.
Yeah.
Culture's gotten big enough with the number of subs. He's gone straight to asshole. It's like, hey, you asshole!
Celebrity,
how come you haven't subscribed to me?
Celebrity hasn't changed them. Celebrity has
you
not
asshole.
changed.
Put it in here.
Do me that favor and turn on all the what do you call them?
Turn on all the bells and listen to my shit. I gotta eat. God damn it.
I have to eat. I retired to do this, so help. And mostly, I have a lot of fun. You're gonna get content every day, no matter what. Even if it's like me making fun of Nick's hair, or
consume his content.
Yeah, check.
Wow.
Look, following me is Nick's lack of facial hair, which I think is embarrassing for Nick. I feel like
I don't know. Nick's.
I cut it to regrow it.
What was the first thing I said to you, Nick, when we met and we had pizza? I said, "You are much more beautiful in person."
Complete me.
Yeah, I did. I said, "You are a beautiful man."
You had me at hello.
We are promoting Nick during my point. You know what?
You can go on. Please don't stop.
I'm leaving.
Don't stop thinking of culture. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow.
Culture's gonna be Wolverine with the
it'll be here
everywhere I go.
It'll be here.
Listen, you got to watch the 6 Minute Daily. You got to watch culture on all these channels that we don't care about. You got to watch culture on these channels that we do care about.
I'm gonna tell Pro, who just hit 100K, you said that.
Oh, I'm waiting for his crash.
Well, we'll never break the chain.
Please don't break the chain.
No, we're never gonna break the chain.
Yeah. Look, I've been seeing changes.
If you don't love culture now, you'll never love him again.
That's true.
I love how we can tell him.
I can still
hurry
hear
up.
him saying that he's gonna go away, but he'll never break the chain.
I love how we keep telling him that to hurry up and get through his bit. We keep interrupting him.
Culture, tell us lies. Tell us sweet little lies.
I will every time. Okay. Anyway, I'm
Thunder
leaving.
only happens when culture's raining.
Yeah, and players only love you when they're.
All I know is, do not eat a ham sandwich.
Wrong band.
I know.
I thought it was
I hate Fleetwood Mac. I do. I hate them. Oh, they're awful.
Oh, Peter Green was a great guitar player.
He's a great guitar player, but the rest of them sucked.
That's a different version of the band.
I thought Culture's motto was every word I speak, you'll be watching me.
That's true.
There we go.
That's wow. How long can I make this segment last?
This has been the longest 20 minutes of my life.
I took my love, I took it down.
Oh, a nice one. Well played.
I climbed a mountain.
And I turned around.
It's your turn. Culture had his chance.
That lasted longer than his first time in the Volkswagen Rabbit.
Oh,
Nice to see you. That's an uncomfortable place.
How did you know?
I feel the exact same way, Vertical Horizons. I really do.
All right. So, anyways, yeah, we do have a channel. I'll have another rant out. Either tomorrow or Monday, and then it's gonna be great. It's gonna be diabolical. And of course, Klobby's Comic Shop tomorrow night. We have an Aaron Sparrow join us. He's a cool dude. He's great. He's fantastic. And on Toxic Tuesday, the Better Tuesday movie show, we'll be talking Billy Madison this week. So it's gonna be great. So thanks for having me, Lord Division, and it's been a very divine pleasure. And this show sounds like an atrocity. And I don't know if I'd make it out.
I'll be honest with you. I've seen worse. I mean,
it's not that good, Nick. It's not.
It's not good, but it's not the worst either. I mean, Echo. I out of all the shows, as far as awfulness goes, Echo takes the cake.
Echo takes the cake.
It really does.
Finish that show, so I might actually finish this Agatha show. All right. Well, I'm pulling out. So thank you guys. It's been good.
Nick, mental wounds not healing.
So you're saying you're going to go your own way?
What?
I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
I know you are on the crazy
Nick's
train.
Nick's going to go his own way.
I have a holy diver. I'd rather hop on my way.
Can call it.
Good night, Nick. All right. We have some
and now we have brain damage to happen. Super chats, then the worst show.
Do your super chats. There's a lot of people out there been waiting for you to say something that they paid you for.
I know.
Do it.
All right. There we go. Default 101. Short and Fred stream time. Let's go. My favorite part of the stream, watching everyone's soul die. Crushing your enemies, see them driven before you, hear the lamentations of their women.
I would rather be on one of those
of the YouTubers.
I would rather be on one of those torture wheels than watch Rings of Power again. Just constantly
been on
walking
a torture wheel?
forward, pushing the torture wheel like in Conan.
At least that makes you stronger.
Oh, the Wheel of Pain. Okay.
The Wheel of Pain,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Makes you
fair
stronger. That makes
Yeah.
you stronger.
Sabertooth Raptor for $5. Not sure if my members chat came through. Culture would like the panel to comment on the latest ship I sent. Thank you. Damn it.
Culture keeps
It was
leaving
starred.
before we bring up your ship.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We'll get it. We'll get it next time.
Blame culture.
Mr. Tickle Truck for $5 Canadian says, I don't think they identify with the villain. They hate heroes because they show them just how much of a failure they are. I think a lot of times, well, I mean, specifically with the comic book writers, they constantly talk about how they identify with the villain because they feel that there's more flexibility with the villain. It's like, you're just a villain is what you are.
Yeah, with the self-insert. Yeah. At this point, when they're self-inserting and they choose the villain to be the one self-inserting on, you're the villain.
Yep. Okay, Eric K for $5. If you understand the source, you can adapt and change it if necessary to make a better show. Just look at Peter Jackson. To tell it, he had to change some. Yeah, well, yeah, obviously, because it's the same thing with the Harry Potter stuff, right? There's just too much material for a movie, right? It's the reason why a lot of times book series and to an extent comic books as well are better suited to be TV shows, because it really is the perfect medium for these types of stories because it's more long form. Where with movies, specifically when you're adapting an actual novel, you have to cut stuff out. And obviously you have to do that stuff with Tolkien.
Yeah, I mean,
because there's too much stuff.
If you're adapting to a visual medium, you have to cut some of the wheat from the chaff.
Yeah.
It's just
this is reality.
There's no way to get around it unless you're doing multi-season stuff and you're including every single detail. And a lot of that doesn't really apply to what you're seeing on the TV.
Well, you're always going to have to show and not tell sometimes. So
yeah,
right.
So you're going to have to cut. You can't have every word out of every novel.
Right.
That's why Dune has been historically so hard to adapt.
Yeah.
Because there's not
so
too many
much
words.
inner monologue.
Yeah, there's almost nothing you can cut out of Dune.
If
you can apparently
want to do
add,
it right, yeah.
Yeah, you can apparently
Zendaya.
Yeah, add an entire and
cut her out.
God, I've heard what they're going to do with a third one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, Irulan and Aaliyah, they said they're going to have major roles in the third film in Dune Messiah. I'm like,
why?
No shit. They are like, a third of the book. So, yeah. But anyway, that's how much I care about this.
Get rid of the, what are they called? It's not, the Mentats.
Yeah,
you
get the
rid
Mentats
of
gone.
Two of the major things in Dune.
Gone.
Just add Zendaya being a whiny bitch about everything.
Oh, yeah. North and South. Cats and dogs living together.
Yep. All right.
That's how bad this show was.
For $5 Canadian, that is. That big Twitter thread about why George R.R. Martin will never, ever finish his book is exactly why they write sympathetic villains. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with having a sympathetic villain. But at the end of the day, you have to understand they're a villain. Okay. And it doesn't matter how sympathetic they are still the villain, and what they're doing is wrong. That's kind of the issue.
When we think we're being subversive by having every villain be a sympathetic villain, it stops being anything.
Well, and that's the other issue.
We don't have villains anymore.
Right.
Because every director seems to think, oh, I'm doing something new and crazy. It's like, no. We've been doing it for 10 years now. How about we go back to what is actually subversive now and go back to an actual villain?
That's actually evil, right? Because that's the thing that has been missing from this equation is variety. So it's like sometimes I just want a motherfucker to be evil, right?
Yeah, we've got freaking orcs that are now.
Yeah, but some of it is their philosophy in life, which is that no one is to blame for anything.
Truly evil.
So therefore, there is no such thing as a bad guy. There is no evil.
It's just a misunderstood guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they go through thinking about life, So they write that into these characters. Yeah, it's a philosophy thing as well. Not just plus the fact that they all, I'm going to make this villain sympathetic now. As you say, they think they're being subversive. Well, it's been done to death now.
Well, they're trying to turn every villain into an anti-hero.
Anti-hero, which they're not. A villain is a villain.
A villain is a villain. An anti-hero is an anti-hero.
Yeah.
It's a completely different thing, but they can't figure out the line that denotes the two.
Yeah, pretty much. Cyrano for $2 says $5 says Agatha twerks with She-Hulk.
Wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, it's nothing surprises me these days. Andy Sandberg, also known as Jason Sandberg, for $3 says, okay, so why did these witches didn't stop Thanos? Yeah, good question.
Because they didn't aim for the head.
Well, the other thing too is it's like with a lot of these movies, this is kind of the problem when you have this greater universe, when you have a solo movie and you have like this cosmic threat. It's like, where the fuck is the rest of the Avengers? Why aren't they helping out?
Yeah.
They were on a break.
No, Thor was on vacation, finding himself for the fifth fucking time. Tickle Trunk for another 2 Canadian pesos. Just want comics to say butt nuggets. Oh, well, you got your wish.
Happened.
Indeed. Eric K for $2. Salem was Sabrina the Teenage Witch's cat. Yeah, that's true. Jaffo for $4.99. Breaking Culture Casino to be the lead role in Harry Twaddler, the half black chick. That was a Family Guy reference.
Kind of pegging adventure.
Indeed. All right, let's talk about the jokes of power. Sorry, Rings of Power.
Who wants to start?
I haven't.
Who watched it?
My life is too short to watch them. I'm
pretty sure Tox did consider you complained that we're going to talk about Agatha first.
So Tox, me, and you watched it.
Yeah,
comics?
I'm guessing.
Before
we
watching
jump here,
videos.
Del, do you have any final thoughts on Agatha? Besides, it was awful
and weird and all that stuff. I was just sitting there thinking that what if the other stories is like the Star Wars story that she winds up killing them all and then gets with the girl that hates her in the end and they go live somewhere together happily ever after and so.
Well, that's kind of what the whole coven thinks is going to happen, is that she's going to take their power.
Yep.
Because that's what she did to
the
everybody
Salem
else.
7. Yeah.
Right. So
I'm guessing that's what they are. The Salem 7 is the witches that she killed, but
yeah, so she's not so bad. She killed the ones that.
Do they all have rings of power?
No, I didn't get that far with that.
Are they like force witches?
The power of many.
Power of Manny. Anyway, sorry, my bad.
Did the dwarves get their rings yet?
Latinos.
Yeah, the dwarves have their rings. They're trying to get the rings of man going right now, and yeah. This I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who's like the protector of the queen. In my opinion,
or something.
Yeah, he's like the only good character I felt like with the last 2 episodes I've watched. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, he's got some good character arc stuff going on, even though the show is garbage. And he kind of has like a lot of the masculine moments that ultimately getting subverted by the female, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yep. This episode, I've got this many notes. This page, this page, this page, and the backside of this page. And all of the notes are...
This is great because we went over this before we went live, which is funny. Go ahead and read your notes.
All of the notes are okay. So the show starts out. Don Lemon pulls out a sword, and 2 orcs just stand still and get slashed in half.
Yeah,
that's all you see of him. Nothing else happens, and then we start talking. So you get into Celebrimbor talking with dramatic music in the background. We get done with that conversation. The next conversation we see is Galadriel. There's very quiet music, and her and what's his face, the orc guy. They're whispering at each other in the room.
5 minutes,
at least 5 minutes. Then we go to Numenor, and what do we get? A conversation.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I wrote down, does anything ever actually happen in this freaking show?
Are they talking? What are they talking about? Their feelings, or
they're talking about? Oh, he has the crown from whatever.
Morgoth. It's Morgoth's crown.
So then we get to the stranger and Bombadil, and what are they doing? Having a conversation
about magic.
So we go from there. You know, they're about to take off on an adventure, supposedly. What do we get next? The Hobbit, whatever things, talking, then kissing, then different ones are talking. And then we get back to the stranger.
Okay. Hang on, let me interrupt you real quick. So the funny thing about the kissing scene is, did you see what she's like holding the entire time? She's fucking holding a poisonous snake, because their whole conversation starts with them basically they're milking the snake's venom, right? That's the technical term. They're milking the snake.
Is what they call it now.
Yeah,
right.
But it literally, she's like holding this fucking rattlesnake. I'm guessing it's a rattlesnake because they had one in the previous episode. Like the entire time they're having this conversation, and it's like, and she like leans in to kiss the dude, and she's still fucking holding the snake.
Well, that brings a whole new layer to her after kissing him, saying, or her saying, "Did you just eat lizard?" So was he sucking off the snake right before they kissed, or?
I have no idea.
Because that's what she says to him. They kiss, and she says, "Did you just eat lizard?" And he licks his lips and is like, nice. So we get those scenes, and then we're back with Bombadil and the stranger. And then Bombadil goes on full on Yoda in Empire. And he's like, "No, you can either pick a staff or you can go save your friend, but you can't come back. You can't do both." So that's where we are 20 minutes into the show. We've had multiple conversations and a kiss between two hobbits that nobody gives a crap about.
Did you see episode 4?
No, I saw episode 5 and 6 because those are the ones you made me watch.
Because I'm a dirty tyrant, as Bravo likes to say.
You are a dirty pirate hooker for this.
Tyrant, not pirate hooker, you dipshit.
So at this point, we finally get some action. We see dwarves dumping wheelbarrows of gold for about 30 seconds before we get into a freaking conversation between Sauron, what's-his-face dwarf, Huron, and Huron's son. And then Sauron leaves because Durin says no, and then we get another, whole conversation between Durin and Durin about the ring's making you a bad person. I don't like this. It does.
Dwarven law firm, Durin and Durin.
Slater Yahtzee.
So what do we go for? What do we go to from this? A conversation with Disa and Durin. So they're talking for another 5 minutes. And then we go back to Numenor, where we get another conversation. And then you get Elendil's trial. And then you get Elendil, Arion, whatever her name is, and Miriel.
Mm-hmm.
But then we go back to the dwarves. And here's where we get the main action for the episode. Disa sings and shouts to call freaking bats
that scare
away all the dwarves that live in freaking caves and caverns inside of a freaking mountain. So I guess that counts as something happening in this episode, and that's at the 39-minute mark out of an hour and 5. But then that only takes about 30, 40 seconds. So we've got 30, 40 seconds of action, and we go back to Numenor, and we get Elendil's execution. Except right at the last second, after 4 minutes of talking, Miriel shows up and says, "No, I should be the sacrifice." So then she walks into the water. That takes 2 minutes. So we're at an 8-minute scene at this point.
She's a slow walker.
Yeah.
They took an awful long time to have her being guided by some guard walk down these stone steps to then jump in the water.
Right. And then you've got another.
He's not lying. Over 2 minutes for her to walk down 6 steps.
Slow motion all the way down. Then
she
gets in the water.
I bought this damn wedding dress, and I don't care if he ran off with my bridesmaid. I'm walking down the fucking aisle.
Exactly.
All right.
Well, and okay, so as we were talking before we went live, Elendil honestly is probably the best thing in the show because like all the good stuff in it happened with him in in this episode and the one before, because he's actually
because he's standing
character.
up for the queen against the king. He's got some actual morals. He will not compromise on these morals, so he's going to be executed for it.
Yeah, and that was fucking done brilliantly because, like I said, every scene he's in, dude fucking rocks it. And that
oh my god, no,
legit.
What? She cucked him.
Well, I was getting to that.
Oh, you were getting to that one. You're getting to the bad dad thing. Okay, got it.
Because he is like the representation of masculinity in the show. And,
integrity,
and of course,
masculinity,
masculinity. Yeah.
Yes.
And the guy I think is a legitimately good actor. And the scenes that he's been in and they did a decent job of writing the character because he basically kind of calls out his daughter because his daughter's basically a traitor. They could have laid into and he could have basically gone off on her a little bit more, in my opinion, because essentially it's like, dude, you're my own flesh and blood. You fucking betrayed me. You're dead to me, kind of shit that they could have done. But normally what they do is they subverted expectations because normally they would have like a situation where it's the woman who is going to be sacrificed and it's the male who stands up and says, no, I will do this for your honor. And he is the one who goes through the trial. They inverted it with the queen. So rather than Elendil going and facing the sea monster, it's her.
She says, like, I have to be first.
Yes.
For the movement to work, I must be the one who does this.
Yeah.
If the gods are true, it has to be. All right, the bad dad thing. He's been sentenced, right? So he goes, I can admit. So they said, admit this and admit this, we'll let you go. He goes, I admit that I've done these things. I went and did tried to defend himself, went over here, whatever. But she's the true queen.
Yeah,
and
he's like, I'm not fucking bowing before you.
Right. So Maximilian from Black Hole gets pissed off. They put him in jail. So his daughter comes in and she's, oh, Dad, crying. He's like, my integrity can't do this. She goes, can't you just let your pride go? And he has the best line that they've had in 2 years of this shit.
Yep.
When he says, if you think this is pride, after all we've been through, if you think this is pride, we have no other words between us.
Yeah.
To say,
left to say. That was
actually. You don't understand what's happening here.
Then she gets up and said, he told me you would say this. He told me that you hate me. He told me you would turn on me. So I'm bringing in the one person that you, bad dad, love more than me, which is your side hoe. Yeah. And that I was so pissed. I was no. So they destroyed him. In this episode, they destroyed him as a character. And now she's the queen again, but then Maximilian went in and touched the damn orb.
Yeah.
How did he have access to that? Because as soon as she becomes queen again,
I don't know so much as she became queen again, as much as they were chanting
Queen of the Ocean.
Yeah, Queen of the Ocean,
whatever. Okay,
but that's what I was getting back. That was 3 lines ago. Where we're back to Numenor for another conversation. This time with Elendil, Arian, and Muriel. So let me finish it off real quick, and then we can flesh out
because it's all conversation.
It's all freaking conversation. So we get back to Galadriel and Adar, and she tells all of the elves' plans to Adar, the orc, and makes a deal with him. Shockingly, he tricks her and says, ha ha ha, I was just joking. You just gave me all the information that I wanted. And then suddenly there's like 10 more camps of orcs, not just his one little battalion. It's suddenly all of these orcs just light up their campfires because he blew a freaking horn, and it shows that there's a ton of orcs. So at the 50-minute mark of an hour and 3-minute episode, we're finally going to battle. No, we thought we were going to battle because they're all rolling their siege engines towards the building. That's the next 20 seconds of action you might see in this episode.
Yeah, the orcs are able to build siege engines. Yes.
Yeah. So at this point, we're at about 1:30 of actions. Dwarves dumping stuff, a sea creature that roars at Muriel and then just spits her back out on the shore, and then a couple seconds of them rolling siege engines. So we think something's happening. No, it's not.
Well, apparently the next episode is going to be the full battle. And this is the battle episode.
We'll see. Because it's starting to feel like freaking what is this stupid anime that everybody loves that nothing ever happens on?
Oh, Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. That's what it's starting to feel like. I mean,
there is one episode that actually it's a full episode that's just battle, which I believe is episode 7, which is what this is rolling into. So,
okay,
but it's probably gonna be just as unentertaining as season 1, where you had the towards the end of the season, you had this fucking battle going on that nobody gave a shit about.
Yeah. So what we get next is, surprise, surprise, another 5-minute conversation between Celebrimbor and Sauron. And then Celebrimbor goes outside, even though the battle siege engines were just moving at night, he goes outside to daylight and has a whole nother conversation with Sauron. And then we find out that the whole, daylight thing was actually just an illusion and people are actually panicking. And then it closes with the orcs firing shots from their trebuchets. And that's the end of the episode. You've got maybe a minute 20 of anything happening in this whole freaking episode. The rest of it is talking. Just conversations, telling you what's going to happen and setting up stuff that nobody cares about. It is the most boring, nothing happening show I have ever watched in my life. And you guys can flesh it out if you want. I mean, it's literally conversation to conversation to conversation to conversation. Back to the first group, have another conversation to conversation to conversation to conversation. They don't do anything in this show. There is nothing happening.
Correct.
Yeah. That's ultimately the problem with this show, series, whatever you want to say. Nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. Ever. Yeah, it's fucking dull as dishwater. When I watched the last episode, I mean, honestly, that one was the most fucking boring episode ever, because it was just a bunch of inane shit that nobody cares about. And part of what makes a show enjoyable is building a kind of relationship with a character, whether it's a villain or the hero or whatever. And there is kind of like likability, right? If you don't like the character or find the character interesting in some capacity, you're not going to care. I mean, a really good example of this is in the Kenobi series when they killed Wade. And it's like, who the fuck is Wade? And they're like, oh my God, they killed Wade. And everyone's like, nobody fucking cares, right?
Yeah, he's no Kenny.
Yeah.
We cared about Kenny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, a good example of this, going back to Cyberpunk 2077, I'm totally blanking on the character's name. Shit.
You're not going to get it out of me.
Johnny Silver.
No, not Johnny Silverhand. I mean, it's the dude from the beginning.
I played it and I can't even remember because I was not that bothered. I wasn't that interested. I played it.
Oh God, why am I fucking blanking on it? Let me see if I can find it.
While you're looking for it, for this episode, I mean, it was so freaking boring. I would rather watch Disa chase that stupid ball down the stairs for an hour and a half than watch this crap that they
Jackie Wells. Thank you. Jackie Wells is a good example of a character that gets killed off, but they do such a great job of building up the character's likability, and you build this relationship with the character. And when he dies, you actually feel something for the character. And it's because of the relationship between him and the protagonist of the story. And that's the thing. All you have to do is make somebody like the character, have some emotional investment in that character. And then when you go and kill him, people are like, oh my God, what the fuck? That's how you make somebody give a shit about something in a movie, a TV show, a video game, whatever form of entertainment it is.
Yeah. I mean, it sucked in Firefly, with Serenity, when Alan Tudyk died.
Oh, Wash's character?
Wash. Yeah. That was...
Yeah, when Wash died, literally everybody in my theater fucking gasped.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a complete gut punch for that whole thing. However, it gave stakes to that entire film. I would argue that film, to me, that film is a 9. Okay, out of 10. Without that gut punch at the end, that film is a 7.5.
Yeah,
because, and I hated it. I hated the fact that they killed him. I hated that stuff. But 2 years, 3 years after that, I got it. You had to have agency. People had to die.
That movie
People
was
you cared
a
about.
fucking gut punch because, you know, I did watch the series. It was after.
I too.
After it was off of Fox, I got the DVDs. I watched all the episodes. Loved the show. Not a fan of Joss Whedon. Not a fan of Buffy or any of his other shows, but I really enjoyed
You must
Serenity.
be talking Firefly.
Yeah, Firefly.
Yeah, Firefly.
Yeah, I had to step away for a second.
I do like his movies. I think he's a better director of movies than TV shows because I loved the Buffy movie. Didn't care for the series, but at the end of the day, like, you know, you build out these relationships with these characters, and then when you start killing them off, dude, because like legit, I had no idea what he was gonna do with Serenity because I legit thought all the characters were gonna die at one point. And that is such a great moment when you have this realization of holy shit, nobody's gonna fucking survive. And then obviously there's a turn of events. And there's kind of that, you know, break and relief, the fact that, okay, my God, people are going to still live. But yeah, it's just.
You thought they had gotten through it. And kabam. And
kabam.
The movie's 20-something years old, folks. So, yeah.
Great movie.
It really has been that long?
Yeah, pretty fucking close.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
Wow.
Hard to believe.
They also took their time killing Jackie. Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is you know what's coming. And even though that moment was already spoiled from the material that came before the game, it was still a fucking gut punch, and it was done really well. And they drew it out, and they drew out the kind of like emotional moments too. And it's just like when Jackie finally kicks it, you're just like, fuck.
Oh, in the show, Edge Runners?
Oh no, in the game.
In the game. Oh, okay, got it.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the point that everybody's gonna bite it.
Well, yeah, it's the cyberpunk way, right? It's like that's kind of the themes of cyberpunk, is that typically there's a bittersweet ending typically to it. It's the idea is that not everyone's going to make it out alive, and they really kind of captured a lot of that in the game. Like the whole idea, the fact that the game doesn't have a happy ending. That's cyberpunk, man. That's cyberpunk, baby.
Well, and season 2 of the show is going to have to be a completely different.
Oh yeah, it's going to have to be
completely different storyline because, the first season wrapped. I mean, it was done.
Well, and there's lots of stories that can be told in Night City, so that's perfectly fine.
It'll kind of be like the anthology type thing that you do with other shows. Only it'll all take place in cyberpunk.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too, I saw it too, man. But it was just like they did it in such a way where it's like, okay, you get that emotional break, relief, and then it happens, and you're just like, holy fuck. It was well done.
But yeah, your point is correct. It had impact because we cared deeply about the character. In a show, if you care about no one, you could slaughter all of them, and you like, so what? Nobody. It doesn't sound like there's anybody worth rooting for in the Rings of Power.
Well, okay, the person that I really wanted to root for, they just made a bad dad and everything in this one.
Yeah, that
and
was
destroyed.
the only character that mattered.
And that's deliberately done.
Elrond is just he showed some balls. Now he doesn't have them. Maybe he's going to gain them. The Elf King is dumb. Even
what they're going to do is they're going to make
elf,
Galadriel right about everything. It's like, you're falling into his plan. It's like, oh, Jesus.
Well, it's just like you
can
did.
already see where that's projecting.
Yeah.
She just gave every bit of intelligence to the enemy and then said, no, but you're going to do what they want if you go do this. It's like, well, then maybe you should have kept your damn mouth shut.
Yeah.
Then it wouldn't have happened.
And it just, what a shit film. I mean, whatever it is, what a shit show. It is just god awful.
Well, and we know the numbers have been really low. And I mean, there's been rumors about it's a good possibility it could get canceled, but
isn't there contractual reasons though that they can't do that?
Yeah.
Like Amazon
supposedly
can't
5
cancel
seasons.
They can find a way.
They could make each season 1 episode long, I guess.
Well, let's put it this way.
Well, that's good.
It comes down to, they are contractually obligated. I can say words.
We've been
obligated. They're
obligated. They're contractually obligated to make 5 seasons. Yeah. But if they go, you know what, it's cheaper to pay them out rather than going and making the series, I can see them maybe doing that. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm quite enjoying them burning their cash in a dumpster. I think it's pretty good.
Well, the thing is with Amazon, unlike Disney at the moment,
they can afford
Amazon legitimately can afford to fucking burn cash. Yeah. Disney can't at this point because they've been getting hit in not only in the entertainment stuff. I mean, we saw the massive failures of what happened last year with all their movies. Literally all their movies fucking flopped. Yep. This year they've had better luck with certain things like Inside Out 2. There was some stuff that came out recently about it.
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine. So they're doing better in the entertainment side, but their parks have also been suffering. And the reason why they can float a lot of this garbage is because the parks. Now they can't necessarily afford to do that anymore.
Yeah, that's what we were saying 2 years ago, is the parks subsidize the movies.
Yeah.
The parks aren't subsidizing the movies anymore. The parks aren't doing well.
Yep.
See, and the parks keep jacking up everything that they possibly can. You get rid of Splash Mountain. Now you're getting rid of the Tom Sawyer thing. I mean, they're destroying everything about the parks that people might have liked, because you can't have anything that existed before 2000. I mean, they're going to walk themselves off a cliff, and I'm happy to watch it.
Well, it's part of the reason why the MCUs, they're trying to turn that shit around. All right, so Slytherin Peanut says, it's never cheaper to pay them out. Those contracts are specifically to hurt the studio to prevent a pullout. I mean, well, the other factor is damage to reputation and all the other stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a good possibility they follow through with all 5 seasons. If they do, you know what? We have stuff to talk about.
Exactly.
I have ways to torture Brahma.
It may damage the reputation of Amazon and the people involved, but I tend to agree with Dave Cullen on his videos. It doesn't damage the reputation of the Lord of the Rings or Tolkien. It's not like Star Wars, which has been utterly destroyed, or Star Trek or Doctor Who. I think Tolkien can survive. Lord of the Rings can survive. I think people will disassociate this from Tolkien. Well, because
a lot of it is the fact that it's fan fiction, right? It's not the reason why the damage to Star Trek is so bad is because legitimately Disney owns Star Wars, not Star Trek. The same thing with Star Trek.
It might be the same thing.
You're right. It might as well be the same.
Might as well. I'm surprised they haven't put them together yet.
It's because this Rings of Power is not canon, right? This is something that Amazon cooked up because they wanted to have their Game of Thrones, right? This is not canon. It's not an extension of Tolkien's work. It is basically a large corporation's fan fiction. That's all Rings of Power is, right? Where Star Wars, Star Trek, all these other properties, Doctor Who, etc. The reason why it's damaged is because it is canon at this point. And pretty much Doctor Who is dead. Speaking of another product that was already ruined, just got made worse by Disney. Disney is not going to fund a 3rd season of Trudy Godfrey. It's gone. You're getting one more season, and that's it.
But speaking of them wanting a Game of Thrones, they also did Wheel of Time, and it it does not have anything else that has been adapted to. I mean, they literally
Wheel of Crime.
They've destroyed it. In my lifetime, we will never see an adaptation of Wheel of Time that actually does it justice, because they decided we wanted a Game of Thrones, and they did both Rings of Power and Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time will be destroyed by this. Lord of the...
Yeah, it will.
I agree.
Of all of these things that we've been watching, and Star Trek, Star Wars, the Rings of Power stuff, what happened, Game of Thrones Season 8, all that stuff, and everything that they brought, She-Hulk, Marvel, whatever. The Wheel of Time show is the worst bastardization of any source material that I have ever seen put on film.
As the original filmed or TV showed version of it. I mean, other things have had other adaptations, like Lord of the Rings, like we were saying. We've had good adaptations. Wheel of Time was destroyed. There's no way to save it.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way coming back from what they did.
Yeah, it ruins the reputation of the original.
Yeah, you can only hope that people went and read the books. And I don't know why you would go read the books if you thought the books were based, or if you thought the show was based on the books and you watched that show. I don't know why you would go read the books. Honestly, from fantasy and sci-fi at this point, I think the only hope we have is that Brandon Sanderson gets some TV or movie deals and keeps full control over everything that happens. Because even Brandon Sanderson, who wrote the end of the Wheel of Time because Robert Jordan died, they stopped listening to him in the first season. And he has come out and said, this was absolute crap. I told them not to do this. I told them not to do that. I told them not to have Perrin murder a wife that didn't exist in the books.
Oh my God.
Because it destroys his character, because his whole thing is...
I can't. I know.
I can't.
It's criminal.
I'm criminal. So.
I need to get back to reading Wheel of Time books.
It's just criminal.
They really are worth reading. If you actually read the series.
Can't stand. After the third book, I quit. I was the third one. There was one part where I read the first 3 chapters of it and the last 3 chapters and felt like I didn't miss anything, and there were like 1,000 pages in the middle, and I stopped reading the Wheel of Time series. So
Robert Jordan's long-winded.
I know. I am not a fan. Okay. And I'm saying that's why I wanted to make this point. I'm not a fan. And I'm saying that's the worst bastardization that has happened of the stuff that I love and all this stuff from there. So I think that me saying that has a little bit more validity because I'm not a fan of that IP.
You can recognize that it was destroyed.
Just
when
destroyed.
You're not a full fan.
They ripped the heart out of that book.
Yeah.
Right?
Even just casually reading the first book and watching the series is like, wow, they really fucked this show up. They did.
Every portion of it.
Mr. Author who's sold millions of books, fuck you, we're doing this.
Yep.
Yeah. And because you're dead.
Chase says, from what I heard last night, Bodemeo would do an extremely great job with Star Trek. He's a big fan of Star Trek. I mean, at this point, I would agree. I mean, I was pretty skeptical about the X-Men series, and I thought he did a great job. With what I saw. I mean, it's like the funny thing about it is that we're joking about the reason why Beau DeMayo was fired wasn't because he was doing gay porn shit on OnlyFans. It was the fact that he created something good.
Yes.
I mean, and he was likewise fired from The Witcher for the same reason, because like him and Henry Cavill legit cared about the source material. I mean, to me, watching X-Men 97 kind of, has proven Beau DeMayo to me. So, I mean, I'd be down for it. I'd love to see him team up with Terry Matalas to see what they come up with. I mean, if he legitimately gives a shit about the series, then yeah, I'm down for it.
But the problem I have is that it's already too late in many ways, because as you said, things have now been made canon that should never be near canon. So how do you fix that
100%.
problem? It's the same with Star Wars. You've introduced all this stuff that has no business being anywhere near canon. So it's hard, even if you make something that's good, that other stuff still exists, and it's still an insult to the franchise and to the IP.
At this point, we make a multiverse for everything. So start a separate side timeline.
Yeah.
do a
Well, they
show
did
off
that
of
with
that
Star Trek
and
with
make that the main
2009.
freaking timeline.
If you make an actual official announcement that says all that stuff there, that's now branched off into this alternative timeline. You can go watch it if you want, but it is not considered true canon. Then that's something.
Well, at this point, I mean, you can do whatever you want as far as that. You can do a reboot, you can do a restart, you can do a branching timeline. I mean, the people who actually pay attention to it are the people that are nerdy like us. The rest of them, if you just give them a good movie, they'll watch it, or give them a good show, they'll watch it. The thing with us is we don't want things to be canon, but in the end, who really gives a shit as long as they get it back on the right track? I mean, even if you have to call it a side timeline just to appease the nerds, then call it a side timeline. Whatever. Get it back on track and get it going in the direction that people actually give a crap about
It's
it.
easy. How do you do it? You do it like a Dallas with Patrick Duffy in the shower, or whatever his name was.
Picard wakes up. Oh my god, I had the worst dream.
Oh my god, none of that ever happened.
We would all tear that apart too, because it's been done so many freaking times. They need to just
Fucking
call it,
dude, I'll take it at this point.
side. Exactly, but they need to just call it a side reboot or whatever, and go from there. Just ignore things and go from this new point.
Well, in a weird sort of way, they kind of did that with Picard season 3, minus the
Yeah,
android
they
thing,
did.
which I wish they just didn't acknowledge it. You know, they could have ignored
Never
it.
They did it in the most minor way possible, though.
They
I think.
did. It's like it wasn't like super offensive or anything, but it's like you could have just not acknowledged it. It would have.
Yeah, I would have preferred that. I mean, but Picard season 3, I mean, that was fantastic compared to everything else we've gotten lately.
That's right. I mean, after getting boned in the ass, by a car for
it feels nice to
10
just have
nights,
a
it feels
pinky in
nice
there.
feels nice just to have a thumb.
Yeah.
For being mentally raped for the last several years, it's good that nothing happened for a change.
Yeah.
If they
When
want to
you've got
fix
this-
Star Trek, okay, William
Mentally,
Shatner,
emotionally
before he
raped.
dies, get him back into the original Kirk outfit, right? Zoom in, to the original Starship Enterprise, coming in, him doing boldly go, blah, 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 blah. You go into the top of the tower like they did in the first episode. You go down in there, and it's William Shatner. He's sitting there, and the camera comes around and looks at him. He just stares in the camera and go, oops. And then that's it. And then you just start over.
Or no, go with the Boston legal defense and be like,
oh, yeah.
I've got mad cow disease.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then start over.
And then start over.
That was his whole thing in
Rhaegar
Boston.
Targaryen's comment. Picard season 3, when the abusers start being
That's
nice.
right.
All of a sudden.
Tell me when they stop beating you. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing about it is poor Terry Metalis had nothing to do with Kurtzman.
He didn't.
He did. But what did he do? He made a really good show.
Yeah, he did.
I just
That
don't want
And
them to
I get why people have complaints about it. I really do. Like I said, the movie Trek doesn't offend me. There's obviously problems I have with it. I thought it was fine. I understand the complaints about the whole thing with Worf. I really do. That didn't bother me. But hey, you know what? Terry made the best of a bad situation, in my opinion, and he ended up putting the band back together. Got everybody on, the Galaxy class ship. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it.
And at the end of TNG, they had already gone.
And I was skeptical with the first 2 episodes, but it ended up winning me over. Go ahead.
At the end of TNG, they had already gone kind of to movie Trek to a degree.
They did.
Yes.
I mean, so it was in line with what TNG was. The new captain, I can't remember what was the name of the actor that played him.
Todd
Mount.
Todd something.
Haysworth or something like that. I don't remember, but I thought he did a great job. He's been fantastic in our corner of the internet as well, except that he's a freaking Kamala supporter to his bones. That's the only thing I can fault about him and that show. But everything else about that show, I thought was a great send off, but I also thought that that the final episodes of TNG were about as good a send off as a show has gotten.
Yeah.
That I have watched, because there were so many shows that went so bad.
Yeah.
Lost went bad.
Enterprise
went bad. I mean, there are so many shows that went bad. There's a couple I can name that I liked. TNG, All Good Things, was a great send off for TNG. Battlestar Galactica. Yes, there is controversy between the fandom on it, but I thought it was a great ending for what they had to do with the writer's strike. I thought the wrap up of Battlestar Galactica was fantastic. Outside of that, I can't think of shows.
I still don't know if Starbucks was a Cylon or not.
She wasn't a Cylon. She was an angel.
She was an angel.
Or a spirit.
Or a
I mean,
spirit.
just like Balzar and Six were spirits.
Yeah, they were kind of like angels. again.
Caprica 6 or whatever. I think it was 6, wasn't it?
I want to get this one from Donnie real quick. He says, I enjoyed Todd Stashwick's performance as Liam Shaw. I did as well. I was kind of hoping at the end of that, spoiler alert for a TV show that was out for several years at this point, when they killed him off, I mean, which was a great death, by the way. I was really hoping that they would do another series with him as captain. Yeah. It's like that would have been fantastic. I really liked him as captain.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to find who that the person is captain that resonates, and you just got to make a show about them. That's what you got to do, because
and he's going to be at SpaceCon. He's like one of the individuals I actually want to get an autograph from is him and Terry Metalis.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody else. Well, Gina's there. Gina's great. I might get another autograph from her. I don't know, but
his
we'll see.
politics suck, but he seems like a genuinely good person.
Yeah.
Because I've seen lots of stuff from the interviews he did with people in our sphere and the interviews he's done outside of that. And then, he's really big into D&D. So I'm assuming you would really like that comics. I mean,
are you talking about the actor plays Shaw, or are you talking about tell us? Okay.
No, Stashwick or whatever his name is.
Stashwick, yeah.
He seems like a genuinely good guy. He just has bad politics, but he was also in Weeds. If you remember watching that show, did anybody watch that show?
I didn't watch it.
He was the campus. He was the campus security guard that tries to bust her at the beginning of the first season and steals all of her weed, and then he pops up throughout this series.
The series, okay. I never watched it. I am familiar with it. Wow. Okay, I didn't realize that he was doing True Noir. I like I said, I didn't recognize his name. But yes, and shout out to R&B, because that fucking True Noir shit looks badass.
He's one of those bit actors that makes an impression on people.
Yeah, he's good. All right, let's get out of here, folks. We'll start with you, Bill. Oh, hang on. Actually, before we do that, let me pull it. I have some super chats I need to get to. I just remembered that we have 2 from Eric K. Eric K for $5. Were you made to watch the show? What makes you think we want to hear about it?
I was made to watch both shows.
Yeah. Eric K for another $5. Tox is not boned in the ass anymore. It's you've been diddied in the butt. Oh my God.
We're going to change the term for pegging to diddying.
Yeah,
diddying. You've been pee diddied.
Indeed. Belle, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Well, we will do your outro.
Okay, so we're no longer we're getting divisioned in the ass. It's now we're getting diddied in the ass.
Oh.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, comics, for having here brief moments here. I enjoyed, Star Trek 2, the third one with Terry Metalis producing it and stuff. But I did like Todd as well, and I did think that he should have been the next series, the captain and stuff, and let off with LaForge's daughters and all that stuff. I think that would make a great series. So I totally agree with you. Only thing that bothered me was the stupid Picard robot thing. It just drove me nuts. I wanted to undo that so bad. That was like chalk. Fingernails. Just his whole thing. I know he's 90-some. So I don't know. How do you undo robotness? But anyway, thank you for having a lovely evening. Watching Agatha, that was not enjoyable. And I hope the series goes really fast.
You and me both.
Mm.
Another 7 weeks of this shit.
9 weeks, right? Or 8 more weeks.
Well, it's total 9 episodes. We got 2. So 7.
So a month of so a 9-week pregnancy.
2 weeks
Yep.
or 2 months.
2 months. Indeed. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks.
Hello, 70s. That's a mighty handsome T-shirt you got there.
It is. Isn't that a great T-shirt?
Where did you get that T-shirt from?
I think I got that T-shirt from your website.
Oh, that's right. Comicsvision.com. You can go and
I can see the back.
You can go and get really cool T-shirts like the one that Brian is wearing.
Yeah, the back of that shirt turned out really good.
Good stuff.
No wonder he keeps getting the invite.
And it's good quality. What can I say? The quality is great. Never mind the quality. Feel the width. So
that's a member shirt.
It's a member shirt. It's containing a large member at the moment.
It's got girth, not length.
That's right. It's an old British television sitcom called Never Mind the Quality, Feel the Width, about two tailors and women. So, no, but I'm the only one that would ever get that reference because A, I'm old, and B, I was brought up in Britain. So Brahma, as Brahma mentioned earlier, in our community tabs on our respective channels on YouTube anyway, because there's no community tab on Rumble yet, which is bizarre. Not that I'm aware of. But anyway, our YouTube community tabs, you can see a sign up for the Bourbon and Boredom.
Whoa.
Bourbon and Boarding. The Boobs and Boredom, as Snowdub calls it. Bourbon and Boarding Fantasy League, because we're getting ready to get hockey's coming back, getting ready to get the show going again. Saturday 28th, we were talking about Brahma for a
27th.
Live. It's the 27th of Saturday?
I believe so.
Anyway, that's Saturday. We'll be doing a live draft for that league. We've had a few sign-ups. We should have a much larger league this year, so that's good.
I believe I have just linked the sign-up in the chat.
Indeed. So, and if you get rebuffed, then I'll increase the size of the league and make it bigger for you. I will just stroke the league and make it bigger. So that could be good. Lots of people makes for a more interesting fantasy league. But anyway, hockey's coming back, so we're getting ramped up to start the show again. As for me, Monday, my show at 3 p.m. Mountain Time we're going to talk about music this week. We had a great show on Conan the Barbarian last Monday. Next Monday, we're going to talk about the Rolling Stones' Beggar's Banquet album. I've never really talked about the Stones in any of my shows. I think it was about time. That is my favourite Stones album. So we'll talk about that album and that era of the Rolling Stones and just have some laughs as usual. And then the following Monday, I was talking to some people in the chat. I'll be doing the movie Dark Star the following Monday. So that should be fun too. So check it out. Check it out now.
Thank you. Also, Randall's like, wow, you've been going for 3 hours. Feels like 10. Tell me about it, buddy.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you, sir. Smoking Man.
Oh, I'm on screen. I was trying to find the link for the damn sign up because Eric K said that was an invalid link. So just go to our community tabs.
Yeah.
What do I got coming up? Tomorrow night, after comics gets done with F&T, I'm on Ascendant Art. We'll be doing some music trivia, probably talking Am I Racist and a few other things with Little Chad and Slender Dad. Saturday, I have off for now until Bourbon and Boarding starts. And then Sunday morning, The Bullpen, 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 11:30 Central. We talk politics for the week. We've got so many freaking topics. It's not funny this week. We've got multiple assassination attempts, the Fed cutting rates, Harrison Waltz grew up in the middle class because that's all they seem to know how to say, pager bombs, and a campaign hack of Trump that Iran gave the info to Biden and Harris. And that's not a problem over, say, Nixon. So there's lots to talk about Sunday. I'm a couple hundred hours from monetization, I think. So, yeah.
By the way,
hope everybody
I'm good,
can be there.
I'm good this Sunday if you want me on.
Yeah, be on. I will send you the link, and we will have you on. We'll talk all of those topics. So, cheers, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you, sir.
And that was the closest I'll ever come to a rant, I think, on Rings of Power. 4 pages of notes. That's about as good as I can get on it.
Yeah, fair enough. Hello, Man Flu. Tox is muted.
Myself there.
Yeah.
So
typically helps.
My doctor has told me that watching these shows is not good for my health anymore. So
so you're pleading the doctor's note out of having to do this?
Yeah, crap? I'm doing the doctor's note thing out of this. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm glad I didn't watch Agatha. Fuck that shit. Not watching that. And I'm really wanted to try to like Rings of Power. Because there were a couple of characters that I really liked, and they just destroyed him in this episode. So, there's nothing to see. There's nothing to see there. Deese's character got annoying, but boy, was she more powerful and better person than any other male dwarf. Oh my god.
She screams very well.
Yes, she screams.
She guess.
Screams. Yeah. Chases balls and screams.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And a whole bunch of bats fly out of her.
And hers was the character.
Cobwebbed pussy.
The first season, I thought, okay, well, they're going to do her character, and she's going to do this first female voice. They did all the stuff that they did, and her character was the one I liked the most.
Yeah.
Last season, and they've destroyed her character this season. So you think, oh, okay, the toxic man flees a man, and in most of the time I am. So and you think, okay, the integrity of the man, the toxic man, the male masculine dude, and him being cut down and bad dad, and this one, that would be the one I'd be the most pissed at. But Deese's destruction as a character is just made me just as angry with that, because there's so much they could have done with her character. And it just lost it, because these people don't have any talent. They don't have any talent to write this stuff. So, and it's the same people that are doing Rings that did Wheel of Time. And when you tell is Sanderson the best-selling author of all time?
He's had the best Kickstarter campaign of all time, because he wrote 6 books while nobody knew he was writing them, and then announced a
Kickstarter.
He didn't want to do it through the main publishers or Audible. He wanted to release it to people, so he did a Kickstarter.
Amazon and Audible screws the artists.
Exactly.
The authors. Yeah.
So he did it as a Kickstarter, and it was funded within minutes. 6 books that he wrote in secret, and he has released them through the Kickstarter, and that thing was funded within minutes. Sanderson is maybe he's definitely the most prolific fantasy author of
all time.
This generation.
So Amazon had to listen to him, because normally if you do what he did, they kick you off. But he makes too much money. It's kind of like them saying, oh, you need to get rid of Gary and Ryan and Geeks and Gamers, and Amazon, YouTube's like, yeah, right.
He's trying to fight the power through going through alternative channels.
Yeah, and doing it that way. So, but
he's not. Yeah. He's not conservative. He just understands what you need as a separate. What is it that we always call it? The alternative. Shit, I can't remember the name.
Well, being a good author and that kind of stuff, politics aside of those things, unless you're writing political books, you can write a good fantasy novel, and I don't care if you're you vote Democrat and do all that stuff. Things from there. If you're doing that, I respect the work. It's when you're telling me in your work that I'm a Nazi because I don't believe exactly the way you do.
Yeah, that's the
problem. That's the problem.
I mean, the whole thing with like, even R&B longest time, Democrat. I don't know if he's still planning on being a Democrat, but in Democrat, whatever. Don't care. Great guy, right? I mean, we are allowed to have political differences, and we don't always have to vote for the same party as long as we're cool. That's how it used to be, right?
Yeah.
Up till current year, is that we could agree to disagree and live our lives and be happy. And that's the issue that we've run into over the last several years, is that, oh no, you don't think like I do, you're fucking evil and must be destroyed. That's the issue. Right?
Yeah. And
I don't care if he's lefty or liberal or whatever. As long as we can be cool at the end of the day, that's fine.
DeCarn called it, my brain fart, the parallel economy. That's what he's trying to get to.
Gotcha.
I mean, for books, he wants there to be a parallel economy where you don't have to go through the main publishers. You can kickstart something like this and get it out there. And he's a best-selling author over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't want to have authors be subject to Amazon and Kindle and Audible.
Yeah, well, that's fair. I totally get that. Also, the Crayon God joined.
I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah, I'll buy that for $1. Thank you. Thank you very much for the support.
And then a lot of red crayons.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, Talks?
Chase's balls, was that a Kamala joke? Yeah, kind of. Well, she did chase that. Did they have the orb? Dwarves have one of the orbs, I think.
It was it was Diesel that dropped the
thing. Diesel dropped the orb. So I'm just going to say, I'm quickly forgetting these shows for my sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quickly what's there from there. And I'm hoping that, but I will say this, Only Murderers in the Building is back for another season. And that's
announced.
Shit, did I miss Joe?
No, it's on right now. I've been watching
It's on it. Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
It is. It is.
Already?
Season 4, yeah.
4 episodes already in.
I don't recall getting this one from Joe for $1.99. Should I watch Agatha on the way to Too Long? Hail Dick's Vision. No.
I thought I marked that one.
No,
I think I missed that one. Anyway, sorry, Joe.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch it, dude. It's
watch
awful.
us be tormented by the Tyrant Comics division.
No, Joe, watch it. Watch it, Joe. In fact, skip NFL football on Sunday and watch these shows.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
All right, folks. Good night. Thank you so much for everyone who donated, joined as a member, etc., and gifted a membership. Duly appreciate you. Literally, guys, you literally do keep the lights on here. If it wasn't for you, I'd probably have no electricity at my house. On that note, thank you so much. We are out of here. Enjoy some credits, and we will see you next time. By the way, Joe, if you're watching, I updated the credits, so you were in there. Again, stop it.
No.
Is it Donna Summer in the house? Giorgio Moroder? That's what the music sounds like. Giorgio Moroder.
Well, this is Suno. I asked for 2000s industrial, and I got this.
No, I like it. It sounds more like Giorgio Moroder 70s disco.
We're playing Spy Hunter on the NES.
Yep. Break out your glow sticks.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I got a nice reaction.
Bottoms up.
It's become a meme at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of
on
a joke.
Culture's channel, his Sunday night show, he'd play it and we'd all scream and run out. It's really disgusting.
Yeah, I literally click off the tab so I don't have to see it.
Yeah, It was just half of his people leaving and the other half being gay.
Mm-hmm.
You're sluts.
End of stream. It's more catchy.
If people can watch a few of my playlists without actually watching it, just put it on overnight. I'm trying to get to monetization before October 1st, or I think it's October 1st, is when the VP debate is. So that'd be nice.
The VPs.
Did our lawyer call you?
Yeah, I'm. $10 is $10.
Mm-hmm.
Vance versus Walls.
$20 is $20.
Did you
You
hear
should
the
just
little
do it
story
as
that-
mud wrestling.
Oh, what was that?
What, Bill?
Oh, I was listening to 70. What did you say at the end? 70?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was asking if you heard the story today that Trump told on Waltz.
Yes.
No.
That he called him during COVID and said, hey, can you pretend to be friends with me? Because I'm really scared of all the people that I've told to burn my city to the ground or state to the ground. Yeah.
Really? I didn't hear about that. That's interesting.
Would he actually call him, do you think? Do you think that's...
It may have been a text.
Yeah.
Randall. Thanks for the memories, as god awful as they are. Hey, right back at you, buddy.
Are you going to act out the skit?
What was that?
I was asking Robert, are you going to act out the skit of turning the page?
Yes. It's much like unburdened by what has been.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you so much, everyone. We will catch you next time. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.